This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drug kick, and it's good.
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Championship semifinal Friday night from First Bank and Trust Arena, the 2026 Class B Girls State Basketball Tournament. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Lisa Bahi. And Lisa, one of the greatest nights of the year in South Dakota when we get to be in the arena on a championship semifinal Friday night. Lots of electricity, it seems like, every state tournament.
Yeah, you know, it's just just so much excitement in this gym. We've got the teams running out. We've got great crowds. You can just feel the electricity in the air.
Let's take a quick look at our two teams involved as the clock is winding down here. We're going to have Ethan tonight taking on Corsica Stickney. Ethan comes in the number 4 seed at 22-2. They'll be wearing the dark uniforms tonight because of where they're placed on the bracket. Even though they are the higher seed, they are out of Davison County. Tom Young, the head coach, 67, the enrollment. School colors, maroon, gold, and white on Wisconsin is their school song. They got here by beating the Flandre Indian School, Sanborn Central Woonsocket by 7 in Madison, and then the Sodak 16 win over the Dolphins of Dubrook, where one Tasia Hawkins decided to throw in 8 3-pointers that night. So we'll be watching for her to look to light it up tonight. Coleman Egan was their victim last night, 51-42 in what started out a little slow on the offensive end, but certainly turned around. Your starting lineups brought to you by First Dakota. Number 10, Macy Dean, the 5'4" freshman. Marissa Storm, a 5'6" senior. Sadie Mueller, the 5'8" junior. Rachel Clock, 4 threes last night against Coleman Egan, the 5'10" senior, able to step out and knock it down. And then the 5'6" senior, Tasia Hawkins, playing in her second state tournament in 3 years with 2 different teams in 2 different classes. Played for Hanson as a sophomore.
Yeah, that doesn't happen too often.
No, that's for sure. You take a look. I was going to find Tom Young in here. I know he's one of our leading win getters, and I don't know if they've got him listed. Actually, they should somewhere. He's got 255 wins. There it is, 255 and 37 going into this postseason. So a guy that continues to get wins. You got to remember, though, he also coached boys for a lot of years. So he's probably coached 700 games in his career, and he's got a lot of wins to his credit. Here's their opponent tonight, Corsica Stickney, the Jaguars out of Corsica, Douglas County, and also, of course, Stickney, part of that cooperative. Kyle Wazorak, the head coach. 48 is the enrollment, cardinal red, white, black, and silver. Notre Dame Victory March is the school song. How'd they get to this matchup? Andy Central, Dakota Christian, Gregory, Wabash Summit all fell victim to the Jaguars in postseason. And then that win yesterday, that big upset to open up our tournament, the 8 over the 1, 65-56. Last time an 8 beat a 1, they were the state champions. Viborg Hurley under the direction of Molly Mason a few years back. Here's your First Dakota starting lineups for Corsica Stickney. Braylee Bordwick, the 5'9" junior. Sophie DeLang, a 5'10" senior. Hayden Johnson, the 5'7" sophomore. Remy Nelson, a 5'6" freshman. And Darian DeVries, a 5'7" senior, the other guard. List 5 guards, and it's pretty much what you're going to see out of Ethan. Neither team's going to play a ton of kids again. Lots of up and down, though. And the other thing, when you say that, Ethan likes to run, but they're one of the most patient teams that we'll see in this tournament.
Yeah, you know, they'll do a great job of probably recognizing what the defense gives them. And just when you talk about that patience, just being able to decide when they really want to run and attack or run and get in the half-court offense.
Final shots being taken by Ethan in the warm-ups, and everyone will run to their benches. We're going to have our starting lineups. We'll have a national anthem to get us going. It's confusing to look across the gym, all the blue in the gym, and we'll show you that and talk about that in a little bit. But the Ethan fans have a story behind the blue that they're wearing and the saying on the front, and it's in tribute to one of their former staff members and coaches. We'll talk about that. Here's Al Bahi with our starting lineups.
Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Brookings and welcome back inside First Bank and Trust Arena. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to this semifinal round of the State Class B Girls High School Basketball Tournament. Our first semifinal matchup tonight will feature the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Rustlers from Ethan High School, taking on the home team on the scoreboard, the Jaguars from Corsica Stickney High School. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of our high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs, so please enjoy the games and support these athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. At this time, will you please stand and help us honor America? Tonight's national anthem will be performed by members of the Ethan High School All-State Choir, Hadley Digman, Elena Royston, Colton Raymond, and Grayson Nebelseck. We remind all in attendance that proper respect is to face the flag, remove your hat or cap, stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform may also salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now let's meet our junior officials of the game. Our junior officials are sponsored by Swiftel Communication, Cubby Sports Bar and Grill, Zip Trip C-Stores, and 605 Custom Design. Tonight's junior official of the game from Corsica Stickney is Ray Nelson. And our junior official of the game from Ethan is Maverick Beyer. Let's meet the starting lineups for each team in alternating fashion. Starting with the visitors from Ethan. 5'4" freshman, number 10, Macy Dean. For Corsica Stickney at guard, a 5'9" junior, number 10, Braylee Bordewick. For Ethan, a 5'6" senior, number 12, Marissa Storm. For Corsica Stickney, a 5'10" senior guard, number 12, Sophie DeLang. For Ethan, a 5'8" junior, number 14, Sadie Muller. For Corsica Stickney at guard, a 5'7" sophomore, number 22, Hayden Johnson. Starting for Ethan, a 5'10" senior, number 20, Rachel Clark. For Corsica Stickney at guard, a 5'6" freshman, number 23, Remy Nelson. And for Ethan, a 5'6" senior, number 22, Tasia Hawkins. And for Corsica Stickney at guard, a 5'7" senior, number 32, Darian DeVries. Assistant coaches for Ethan is Eric Eisenbright. Assistant coaches for Corsica Stickney, Mackenzie Denning and Rocky Nelson. Head coach for the Ethan Rustlers is Tom Young. Head coach for Corsica Stickney is Kyle Wazorek. Tonight's lineups are brought to you by Channel C. The officials for tonight's contest, the referee is Mike Ruth. Umpire Dalton Wademan, umpire Jordan Munch, and the alternate is Brent Mariska. Rustlers fans, are you ready? Jaguars fans, are you ready? Let's go! Today's fan section brought to you by the University of South Dakota.
Mike Ruth will toss it up, and we'll get this one underway. Our first championship semifinal. Braley Boardwick, Rachel Clark to jump it up. The toss is good, the jump is away, and Corsica Stickney will control. Boardwick wins the tip, then gets it right back to play point. Boardwick, spin move at the top, get things rolling. Johnson, who had a huge game last night. Haven was so big for Corsica Stickney.
Yeah, 15 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, but seemed like she was involved in every single play.
An energy giver for sure. And Sophie DeLange got hot from the three-point line, comes out all business in this one, hits her first one, 3-0. Mueller on the left wing, has it tipped away, gets it back. Left side, Marissa Storm will get it started. Wow, Marissa Storm gets to stand that wide open all game. It's going to be a long night for Corsica Stickney.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was looking at in the games from yesterday. Both teams attempted 25 threes. So I'm guessing we'll see quite a few.
And that's the norm anymore, isn't it? It
Right,
feels like
yep.
that's just the norm. There's a kick. Mennel with the black, burgundy, and gold uniforms. It's a lot of colors on there.
Ethan.
I'm sorry,
Mennel.
what did I say?
Mennel.
Same
Takes you
color
back, yeah.
Same color combination.
Yep.
They're watching at Roosters and Mennel, so that's what I was thinking, I think. Off and running, here come the Rustlers. Mueller thought about it, she'll pick it up. Corsica Stickney, man-to-man, just switching and sagging off of certain players. Look out, great rebound. And the hustle play by Johnson once again. Off and running, here comes Corsica Stickney, 3-on-2, kick out. DeLange, now she'll pull it. Same spot, missed it this time. Tapped away by Johnson.
Smart tap. She didn't have the position to get the rebound, but it was able to tap it to a teammate.
And knew right where her teammate was. Remy Nelson in the corner, corrals it. Corsica Stickney gonna try to get patient as well, try to match that IQ, if you will, of Ethan. DeLange, 3 on the way. Got it, 2 for 3. Sophie DeLange makes it 6-3. 9 points in the game, all on 3-pointers so far. Already just about 3 minutes gone in this first one. Storm will dribble to the top.
Corsica
Mueller.
Stickney kind of playing a box and one.
Tipped away and saved by Ethan. Up and a foul foul going to be called with 5:11 to play. To the free throw line will go Macy Dean. Foul will be called on Corsica Stickney. Number 23, Remy Nelson. That'll be her first personal. There you get a good look at the freshman at the free throw line, Macy Nelson. Or Macy Dean, excuse me, wearing number 10. 5'4". First free throw is good. They list her at 5'4". The Austin girls are listed at 5'5". And I would say Macy Dean is probably about 2 inches taller than those two, don't you think?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to Tucker.
Sitting from here, yes.
Dean makes good on the second, 6'5". Nelson will play the point, get Corsica Stickney set. DeLang, swing at baseline. DeVries has it tipped away, chased and saved. We're under 5 minutes. We're gonna get that first media timeout. I don't even have to flash the sign at Mike Ruth, he's so on it. Take a break, we're back in a moment on SDPB Sports.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
Back inside First Bank and Trust Arena. Out of the media timeout, it'll be Corsica Stickney basketball under their own basket. Way out in the corner, but they will run it from the baseline. Double team out of that inbound. Diamond and one from Ethan again as well. And that one good for Haven Johnson. Little jump shot. 8-5 our score. They're going to call a swat on the hand from Braylee Bordwick. Bordwick picks up her first personal. Storm, swing it up top to Dean. Dean will swing it around. Hawkins. This is what Ethan likes to do, run that weave and then pick and choose when they're going to attack. Mueller.
And I don't think Corsica Stickney is really running a boxing one, just a really good matchup zone.
Although they do have DeVries chasing Hawkins now,
yeah.
I think everybody else is just really sagged off. They're going to pick and choose who they go out and defend, make sure they close out on Storm.
Well, as I started that, then Hawkins finally cut, and she went with her. So then I'm like, yeah, they probably are, because I thought they were earlier.
Yeah, it's more of a true boxing one than the diamond one that we see at the other end.
Yep.
Foul called on number 14, Sadie Mueller. Mueller picks up her first. Nelson to Johnson, swing it around. DeLang for three, left that one short. Wasn't really ready to shoot that time. Got caught in an awkward position. 3:44 to play.
There you have Hayden Johnson just coming down, everyone high-fiving. Let's go. Just being a real team leader.
Now you got Johnson coming out. Yeah, it's fun to watch these two defenses match up because they don't look like traditional boxing ones or zones.
Right.
Bordwick with the finish on the baseline. Braylee with her first basket of the game. Hawkins, go right side, kick it. Trapped Up in the corner and a timeout, quick timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Saving that early possession. Both of these teams, similar looking defenses really when you think about it, and the fact that anytime ball goes corner, they're going to trap it no matter what in the baseline.
Right, both teams are looking to trap that. You got just, the box and one, the diamond and one, same concept, but just kind of looking at how you want to rotate your players and how you match up with the other four that are playing your zone.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they'll guard Clock after she went off with 4 threes last night, because I think the scouting report on her is, well, we know she can step out and shoot it, but she averages 8 points. She doesn't look to shoot a lot. Last night, she just took over.
Right, and is she knocking some down or just not getting them to fall?
See what happens as we get into this one a little bit. Still early, 10-5, Corsica Stickney, though.
I know, it was interesting, talking with Coach Evans from Bennett County, and they threw in the box and one, and they never practiced it, never really watched anything on film, never walked through, and just came out and executed.
Hawkins on the wing. Kick out left wing, Macy Dean, got it, the three for the freshman, Macy Dean, cha-ching, the first one. I'm not gonna make that my go-to, but we had to use it.
Yeah, it's other players being able to knock those shots down, which can bring teams out of that zone.
10-8. That's the thing about the three-point shot, too. It just electrifies everybody. It's become such a natural shot, but yet it's still DeLang just off the left side. Clock battle for the rebound. She's such a good rebounder, just always in the right spot.
It's great, strong rebound. A little bit of a contest for it, but she was able to rip that down.
Hawkins will miss her first shot attempt from 3. She'd rather step back and shoot the 23-footer most times than step into one and shoot it from 19-9. Nebelsack to the baseline. She'll fire it out top. Storm again. Got it. Marissa Storm loves the spotlight of the state tournament. 3.
That was from the college three-point line, but like you said, it really doesn't matter. A lot of these players can hit from anywhere on the floor.
And I know there's times where there are coaches that are telling their kids, just back up, step back and shoot it. You don't have to stand so close to the line. And they practice it. So if you're comfortable shooting it, let it go.
Well, that's just how the great game has progressed. I can remember a time when there wasn't a three-point line.
Is it 1987? I think that's when it, 86.
87 or 80, yeah, 87, 88, somewhere in there.
I think I was a sophomore that first year that it came out. 3 on the way, there's Hawkins! And Tasia Hawkins with the first 3. Under a minute to play, 14-10 our score. Ethan making a mad dash. What's a 9-0 run right now, right? On 3 straight threes.
Yep.
Dean, Hawkins, and Storm with those threes.
Yeah, they're 4 of 7 from the three-point line. On the flip side, Corsica Stickney hasn't scored in almost 3 minutes. They've been stuck on 10 for a little bit here.
That foul was called on Tasia Hawkins, by the way. On the baseline, nope, stepped on the sideline. We'll go the other direction. About 2.5 seconds difference, shot clock to game clock. Not sure that's going to matter. I don't know that Ethan will look to run it down that far. They'll just be patient to find the first good look they get. Storm will back it out, swing it around. Nebelsack, kick out Storm. Now they'll probably back it out and wait, and they do at 15 on the shot clock. Storm to Hawkins. Hawkins, left-hand dribble. Dean now, kick it to Storm. Storm, swing it to clock, one more. Nebelsack on the baseline, had it tipped out of bounds with 3.5 to play. 2 seconds on the shot clock. The lob, quick one. Storm missed it off the back iron. on the shot clock, and we'll go to the end of our first quarter. 14-10, Ethan in our first championship semifinal from First Bank and Trust Arena in Brookings on SDPB Sports.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
From First Bank and Trust Arena in Brookings, I'm Brad DeBeer on SDPB Sports. We're back out and ready to go. It'll be Ethan basketball to start. 14-10, music still pumping. But it's like my practice is still going. Shot on the way, Tasia Hawkins, too short off the front iron. Clock comes away with it. Swing it around. Storm ends up with it. Kick it out. Mueller now. Three on the way, Storm, got it, Marissa Storm from the right side.
She's 3 from 4, 3 of 4 from the three-point line.
And when she gets going, you got to know where she's at. Right baseline. Johnson will kick it out, three on the way, Remy Nelson, in and out, no good. Last touch by Sophie DeLang and Corsica Stickney. 17-10 our score. Boy, good looks for Corsica Stickney. They've had chances here to make the run. Been, what, almost 4.5 minutes of clock time now, right?
Right. I apologize. Storm is 2 of 3. The stats actually up to hit really quickly that time.
Make it 3 of 4, almost 2 of 4. That one long off the back iron. Long pass to the corner. Sophie DeLang looking for a cutter. Bordwick goes in and out. DeLang, swing it left side. Johnson. DeLang, three on the way. Got it! Sophie DeLang has 3 threes.
Yeah, and she had started out with 2 quick ones and then got a little bit quiet during that scoring drought for Corsica Stickney.
3 of 7 is DeLang. 3 of 6 from the three-point line, however. A lot of shots already here in the first quarter in 2 minutes. You have to do that against that Ethan defense, and you have to make those because they don't give you easy looks in the lane. For whatever reason, they cover that lane so well out of that diamond and one.
They do. I mean, it doesn't, sitting from the sideline, it doesn't look like there's a lot of openings.
Macy Dean. We ran a play to get open looks in the corner, just couldn't knock shots down against them. They give you that baseline all you want almost, and you can get looks, but again, if you're not knocking them down, keep shooting them, right? That's what they're going to say.
Yep. And that's a tough shot. You don't have a lot of players that consistently hit that baseline jumper.
Yeah, see there, we see it again. Coach Mazar trying to get their attention. You got fans yelling like they want the time. You can't call timeout from the stands. But again, the referees have to watch the action on the court. It's just so far away on this particular court. It makes it tough.
Well, and it's, this is set up for a college team, which they get a little more leeway. I think they're about to the scorer's table almost, where the high school line, they're way back here, and you're a long ways away from the officials at the other end.
Some of us don't abide by that line sometimes anyway. No, I mean, I'm saying some don't.
Well, Coach Wazorek, he got out there a little ways.
Well,
but
he's just getting their attention.
And they'll give you a warning,
and they're going to understand, I think, when you're just calling timeout. You're not there yelling at them. You're just trying to get their attention. They're going to understand and give you that on this court. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's about the kids and getting them the best opportunity. So do that for sure. Worst part is he yelled a lot last night. He's going to the water bottle a bunch. He's got to go another day still. They're never going to hear him tomorrow.
Well, you got assistance.
Yeah, they got to start yelling pretty soon. Everybody's got to get their attention. Need a little buzzer. Maybe we'll add a buzzer in the back pocket. If your left cheek rings, it's the one team. If you're right, it's the other. Tipped away and knocked away and taken out of there by Ethan. Had a foul. Never even heard the whistle, but we did have a foul. Foul was called on Darian DeVries, number 32.
I think she kind of just got caught in the behind someone and trying to get through and made some contact.
Yeah, a little threw that elbow out in that screen, Macy Dean. Again, she did move it, but she gets that foul because her ball handler gives too much space, and she said, Coach said, I got to set a screen.
Right.
That's the ball handler's got to come off that shoulder and give her a little help.
Yeah, when they don't come off the shoulder, I mean, you can't move, you can't stick the arm out, you can't stick the hip out, and that's a tendency because you're trying to set a screen, but really it comes down to the person with the basketball's got to come off the shoulder of the person setting the screen.
That's a hard skill to teach, too, to come off the shoulder, rub shoulders, and turn it up downhill, you know. Clock brings it out.
Sometimes you get athletes that don't want to touch each other.
We're going to go to the media timeout. We are at 4:43 to play in our opening half. We'll take a break. We're back in a moment on SDPB Sports.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Back inside First Bank and Trust Arena. He didn't have his glasses on, so I wanted to make sure Mr. Ruth could see the play ball sign. He's not colorblind, it's bright green. I think you can find it. Marissa Storm to inbound right here in front of us. Shot on the way from Storm, too strong. Rebound, Macy Dean comes away with it. I think Corsica Stickney's almost in a triangle and two, aren't they? And then everybody else just has to give help out on the wings.
Yeah, they might have moved to that. And kind of an inverted two or a triangle.
And you might be right. It may be just more of a matchup, except for DeVries never leaves Hawkins. Right. That's the one that does stay all the time. Johnson picks up the foul. Hawkins for three, got it, fading away on the sideline. Chris Swarhouse, a sophomore. (22-13) as Hawkins. I just can't admit that Jake's right, that's all. Too strong on the three-point shot. Hawkins kick out Dean, thought about it, brings it back out top. Macy Dean. Mueller, three on the way. She hit a couple last night. She gets another one. 3-point basket, Sadie Mueller, 25-13. And a timeout, Corsica Stickney. as the Rustlers take it to a 12-point lead.
Yeah, Ethan's shooting 7 of 14 from the three-point line. So probably going to talk a little bit about defensively what you're doing, how long you're going to stay, and what you're running. The box and one, triangle and two, matchup zone combo that they seem to have going.
Again, want to give a shout tonight. I'm hoping they're listening. It's like 6 hours ahead overseas right now, but a group of former Ethan students, alumni of Ethan, are out of the 665 SMC unit out of Mitchell. They're deployed overseas in Germany. Marty Myers talked to his dad earlier. His dad said that they were watching and everything yesterday. Said I would assume they're watching tonight. He said it's 6 hours ahead, so it's Saturday over there, or gonna be. But we'll see if they are listening and watching. Hope you guys are having a good time. Thanks for all you do, and thanks for helping protect our country and our rights, so that you can do what you do. And we can sit here and bring in this game. It's pretty cool.
Well, we get to play basketball and do all of those fun things.
We do forget about that sometimes. There's so many connections and so many that we just assume, well, they're all taking part of this. No, there's other people doing other things. They're over there overseas fighting, protecting, helping other countries, whatever it is. And again, we've got a great group of South Dakota National Guard folks that do that.
Well, there's also, wasn't sure where you're going with that, but also a lot of other countries that don't get to do this in high school.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure if they're watching, but they should be.
Right, so they should be.
Top of the key, DeLang tried to hook her in the left arm or on the back of the defender, but Bordwick inside, can't get it to go. Clock keeps it alive. And there's the travel. Which, by the way, go ahead.
I think just pulled that when she, good stretch, tried to catch herself. I think she dragged that back foot just a little bit.
Our official analyst out of New York texted me earlier and said that during the Lyman game, when I said she fell to the knee, said that actually is travel. You can be on your knee and gather possession, but you can't have possession and fall to a knee. So I said, well, that's good to know. I can use that next year when I say, well, he said so. 2 turnovers back-to-back here on either end.
Yeah, in for Corsica Stickney, Callie Vandenhoek.
Ball fake there by Storm. Got Braylee Bordwick off her feet. I don't know that she meant to. She was trying to keep her balance almost. Second personal on Bordwick. We saw her getting a little foul trouble last night also. 2:24 to play in our opening half. In a fairly fast half of basketball. Hawkins thought about, yeah, she had to tip that so she couldn't dribble again. Had to kind of push it to gain possession. Subs coming in. Hawkins will inbound over there on the far side from us. Near side to the camera, right in front of her mom. Jenny Bridge Hawkins. Jenny was a star at Hanson back in her day. Got to play for her dad. Got to, I said.
Yep. Tasia got to play for Grandpa.
Yeah, pretty cool story.
Yeah, that was one of the stories a couple years ago, I think, that PBS did. It was a really good story that's still out there. You can still find it online.
Yeah, I got the honor to interview Jim in his final season there. We did that at the state tournament, his final 3 games as a 40-year career. Too strong on the 3 for Johnson. Clock with another rebound. Ethan will bring it across. Hang on to that 12-point lead. This is when they get so dangerous because they're so patient. You get their lead and then they just work you and work you. Mueller for 3, too strong. Rebound Clock with one hand. Tipped away, Bordwick will get it. Chance to cut it to 10. Bordwick 1-on-4 and a foul on Macy Dean. Not going to give up a layup. Dean picks up her second personal. Checking back in, Madeline Nebelsick. She'll come for Sadie Mueller. Mueller will check out. Closing in on 1 minute to play in our opening half. Corsica Stickney now with Johnson on the baseline. Threw it away and saved it, and then last touch by Corsica Stickney as it touched the line. I like the way Hayden Johnson plays, though. She turned it over, tapped her chest, sprinted to the other end to get ready to play defense. She knew it was her. She threw it out of bounds.
Yep. What comes down here is directing traffic with teammates.
They gonna call that on Johnson? They did.
I think they did. I think she said, I didn't mean to.
That Hayden's second foul, I believe. Yeah, they picked up her second. Exactly 60 seconds to play in this opening half. 25-13. 3 on the way. Too strong for Storm. Rebound again for Clark, or that was Dean rather on that three-point attempt. Dean lost the hand. They're going to say double dribble.
Yeah, Kim dribbled off her leg and
pinned it right on her left thigh, I think.
Macy Dean, just a freshman. A lot of these young athletes playing on a big stage.
It doesn't look to even phase them.
It doesn't. We talked about, you know, Sophie Lang with another big 3.
Fourth one of the half.
She kind of makes a few, is quiet, makes a few.
And she had 12 of their 16.
But my thought was on the young talent in the big stage that they've just been playing basketball in the Bees for so long, where you don't see many 8th grade, 7th grade freshmen make it into like the AA and crack a starting lineup or get many minutes.
Had to travel. No, the ones you do at that level, especially the AA, that's a real talent.
Yeah.
You do in the A sometimes. You see it a little bit more in the A now, but we go to halftime. 25-16. Corsica Stickney got it back to single digits. We'll take a quick break. I think we've got some awards to hand out. We'll do that when we come back on SDPB Sports.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Welcome back inside First Bank and Trust Arena. Let's turn it over to public address announcer Mr. Albahi for some award presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we direct your attention to mid-court for recognition of awards and inductees into the South Dakota Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Shrine. Our first inductee tonight is Jim Bridge. Mr. Bridge. Mr. Bridge has spent the past 39 years serving students, families, and communities in the Hanson School District. He has served Hanson as a teacher, principal, athletic director, coach, and superintendent for nearly 4 decades. His colleagues have recognized Mr. Bridge as a change agent, values-driven leader. Mr. Bridge and his wife Julie have dedicated their professional lives to the public school students in the Hanson School District. He retired at the end of 2024 school year after serving 44 years in education. His wife Julie will begin her 34th year at the Hanson School District. Presenting the award to Mr. Bridge and his family is the Executive Director of the South Dakota Basketball Coaches Association, Lynn Frederick. A full bio can be found in your state tournament program. Congratulations, Jim Bridge. Our next inductee posthumously is Milt Sorensen. Milt was known as a prolific scorer in South Dakota basketball history. He concluded his high school career with an outstanding 2,480 total points, which remains one of the top totals in South Dakota history. After high school and military service with the Army, Milt attended Southern State Teachers College. It was during this time that he became a referee. Due to his bald head, professional appearance, and consistent by-the-book calls, the nickname Mr. Clean was earned. Notably, Milt refereed 6 state basketball tournaments in addition to a Harlem Globetrotters game. Milt passed away on January 20th of 2013 in Sioux Falls. Accepting the honor on his behalf is his wife, Kathy Sorensen, their daughter, Lynn Mosier. A full bio can be found in your state tournament program. Congratulations to the family of Milt Sorensen. Next, we have the Steve Whithorn Award, which is being presented tonight to Brian Wetham. Brian graduated from Armour High School and attended the University of South Dakota, where he earned a degree in business administration with an emphasis in mathematics. He began officiating intramurals and City League in Vermillion while attending USD. Brian has officiated basketball for 31 years, football for 28 years, and will be starting his 18th year on the Diamonds this spring. He has served as Region 3 basketball coordinator for the past several years, and as coordinator, he leads region meetings and jamborees to train and develop his officiating peers. Brian has officiated multiple state basketball tournaments, several football state championship games, as well as high school, American Legion, and amateur state baseball tournaments. Brian is always willing to answer the call to guide and develop his fellow officials. In addition to his time blowing the whistle or calling balls and strikes, Brian has been active as a youth coach and is an active member of his community and church. Brian and his wife Lori have 3 children, Megan, Alyssa, and Patrick, and 5 grandchildren, Aiden, Brody, Cruz, Chloe, and Kennedy. In his spare time, he enjoys golfing and spending time with his family. Athletics has always been and continues to be an important part of Brian's life. Unless you've been an official, you don't understand the bond that exists among sports officials, and to this day, most of Brian's closest friends are fellow officials. Presenting the Steve Whithorn Award to Brian Wetham is Terry Duffy from the South Dakota High School Sports Officials Council. Congratulations, Brian. The John Wooden Legacy Coaching Award is presented tonight to Lynn Frederick.
Congrats, buddy.
Frederick, a Stanley County High School and Dakota Wesleyan University graduate, started his coaching career as an assistant at Lyman before taking his first head coaching job at Agar, where his teams qualified for 2 state tournaments. Frederick finished his coaching career in Brookings, where he served as the Bobcats head boys basketball coach from 1983 to 2002. He set a school record with 200 wins, won 2 ESD conference championships, and led the Bobcats to 8 state tournament appearances, including the 1987 state AA title. Lynn's squads also finished second in state in 1986, third in 84 and 88, and fifth in 1999. He was also the head girls basketball coach at Brookings from 1990 to 97 and from 2005 to 18, winning 2 ESD titles and leading the Bobcats to 5 state tournament appearances, highlighted by a runner-up finish in 2005 and a third-place finish in 2006. He compiled a total of 507 varsity wins with the Bobcats. His awards include the ESD Conference Award of Merit, SDHSAA Distinguished Service Award, and an induction to the South Dakota Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Shrine. Frederick also serves as the executive director of the South Dakota Basketball Coaches Association. Presenting the John Wooden Legacy Award to Lynn Frederick is Todd Jorgensen.
And I think that does it for our awards. We'll throw it out for just a moment, come back and check things over from that first half of basketball. Congrats, Coach. Back in a moment on SDPB Sports.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Back at halftime of our opening round, or our opening game, I should say, of the championship semifinal round here with Corsica Stickney and Ethan. Ethan leading 25-16. Brad DeBeer alongside Lisa Bahi. Some quick highlights here from that first half. As you saw, there was a three-point barrage to start things for both sides. And then teams kind of settled in, and little by little, Ethan, just that defense again, Lisa, just took over and allowed them to run out to what was a 12-point lead, now back to a 9-point deficit.
Right, you know.
Or difference, I should say.
Difference, yeah. You know, they started out really hot, and then towards the end of the quarter, or end of the second quarter, they came back and then started to score a little bit, and then Corsica Stickney stepped up a little bit the last 30 seconds, minute of that quarter.
Well, Sophie DeLang, 12 points in that first half, all from the three-point line, 4 threes in that first half. You got some quick stats there, team and individual.
Yeah, you know, there's not a whole lot if you look at the stats. The big thing is only 2 free throws. So again, a quick first half, not a lot of fouls, not a lot of getting to the free throw line like some of our other games that we've had today. But both of those, you know, Ethan seems to be a very good free throw shooting team. They shot very well last night, 8 of 11. Started out 2 of 2. They have the only 2 free throws of the game.
Well, we'll see what teams have made for adjustments. Ethan sticks with the diamond and one with Macy Dean out here on Braley Boardwick. Gonna just try to take the ball out of her hands again. She'll run off of a couple of screens at the top. Pull up the three, deep three. In and out, no good, rebound, clock. Hawkins will push down the right sideline. Give it up to Dean. Dean head tap to get the play called. Corsica Stickney obviously had that scouted. Minute it went, Rachel Clark turned to the defense and said, head tap, here it comes. They're gonna get the look out of it anyway. Three-pointer on the way, good for number 12, Marissa Storm. Her fourth three, she's got 12 points all on three-pointers. Taken away by Storm. She and DeLang will race down the left side. Storm kick it back, Hawkins 23 feet away, got it straight on! And Tasia Hawkins with her third three. 11 threes in the game right now. Make it 12, right?
Right.
Got to recount here. 11 by them.
Right.
It's just a three-point barrage right now. We talk about coming into a big arena, different, but this place is a little different. It's tight on the ends. It's tight on the sides. It's still kind of a shooter's gym.
It is. You know, you don't have a lot of space behind the backboard like you do in some real big arenas. I think it's when you have that space behind the backboard that makes it tough on shooters. This still is a bigger arena, but it's still kind of close and intimate, and you have that behind the backboard, you don't have that space.
Yeah, it's crazy. 9 threes for Ethan. Another 4 for Corsica Stickney. So there we go.
Yeah.
13 total in this game. Just letting her fly right now. 31-16. A quick 6-0 run. Again, you can tell the three-point shot that Ethan their spirits get lifted. They look at each other, they point at each other. I'm not a big fan of throwing the three in the arrow like the arrow, but that is what it is, so.
Well, the other thing is they have 9 three-pointers. They only have 1 two-pointer.
Right.
And then 2 free throws.
When you say live and die, they're living big right now from three-point land, so we'll see if that continues.
You know, if you're making them.
Remy Nelson says, let me in the act. She knocks down the three.
Corsica Stickney has 5 threes and only 2 from the 2-point line, or inside the 3.
Storm again from 3. Got it! Marissa Storm with her 5th 3. Put on the crown. She's the queen from back there right now. Yeah. 2 for 3 right now. I got 1 to go. On the outside, DeLang. Stutter step, but kept the pivot foot down. 3 on the way, Remy Nelson. No. Rebound, DeLang. DeLang looking inside. Has DeVries, but DeVries thought she was open, but Rachel Clark was right behind her. Tipped, last touch. Was that touched by Corsica Stickney? I think it was. Neither official could see it, though. They're both shielded from that. That's a tough no call or call, either way you want to look at it.
Well, it ended up not really being anything, so.
Forgot to block out Marissa Storm, and she gets a 2-pointer. 5 threes and a 2 and a turnover. Ethan starting to pull away, 36-19. 5:21 to play in our opening quarter, or our opening quarter of the second half, I should say. Dean, left wing. Mueller, look inside of the high post. Clock steps in and out. Mueller to the baseline, gets stuck. Back to Clock, Macy Dean. Down the lane, Dean turns the corner, and then they're gonna get a body call on number 22, Hayden Johnson. Johnson, 3rd personal for Hayden.
Puts her hand up, tells coach, I know.
Leave me in, I'm good, I'll be fine.
You know, you get to this point in the time of the season and you know your athletes, and you have that trust. You know when they say that, you just have developed that. You know that you can trust them.
Dean for 3, got it, Macy Dean knocks down the triple. The freshman has 10. Two on the way for DeVries, no good. Johnson with the rebound, up, and a foul gonna be called on Clock. A rare foul on Rachel Clock. And we're gonna go to the media timeout if they see us.
Other side.
Thank you. Red, not green. Red means stop, we got it, we're on it.
You give them that play ball sign.
We'll take the break. We'll take the break. We're back in a moment on SDPB Sports.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also powers South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Hey, buddy.
.438 to play in the third quarter. As we wait for Ethan, we were actually back before Ethan was out of the timeout, so we are good to go. Now we'll give him the green. Sorry, this is for real this time with the green. Free throws for Hayden Johnson. Hayden, first one on the way, no good. She'll get a second. Front, back, and back to the front again. Johnson makes good on the second. 3 points for Johnson now in the game.
Yeah, she had a really big game for Corsica Stickney yesterday, 15 points, and just kind of passing it off to some teammates today, but still being a real big part of their offense and their team chemistry.
She was a big spark for them too when they went on that little bit of a run yesterday. Today they just can't get things to fall. Storm with the rebound on the baseline, somehow got out of trouble. Clock to Hawkins, who she thought about it from the logo. Nebelsack, she'll bring it back out. Hawkins handoff, Storm. Storm will hand off to Dean. Run that weave, under 15 now, getting patient on offense. Kick out, Hawkins. Long three, no good, too strong. Rebound, taken out of there by Nebelsack. Somehow, she ripped that away from DeVries from underneath. Oh, 5'4" of Madeline Nebelsack.
Also, just the strength of Tasia Hawkins on that shot. That Boardwick actually got a little piece of that, and she was able to shoot right through it.
That was Gerlach, by the way, with the foul, not DeVries. Hawkins, three on the way. Tasia got it! Hawkins has 4 threes. Three-pointer of the game for Ethan. Back the other way, and Hayden Johnson.
Just so we said, she's kind of been quiet today. Has a big play.
$14 field goals total for Ethan and a foul on Hayden Johnson. That can be number 4 on Hayden. 14 total made field goals. 12 of them are threes for the Rustlers. Out comes Hayden. Back in comes DeVries.
And Corsica Stickney just struggling to get some of those shots to go. 8 total field goals out of 23, but 6 of theirs are threes.
Hawkins leaves it underneath. Rachel Clock, the easy lay-in. Her first basket of the game. 2:46 to play. And an illegal screen, moving screen on the wing. The player control foul called on number 34. Darian DeVries, her second personal. 30-second timeout, Corsica Stickney. Jaguars going to talk things over just a little bit. SDPB here for every moment, and we're here in your home for the 2026 South Dakota Girls Basketball Championships, committed to covering high school sports and activities across the state all year long. From stories and photos to highlights and stats, you'll find it all at sdpb.org/basketball. Again, we're here for every single moment you can think of. During the fall, you get that all-state band and choir over Thanksgiving. That's just the high school activities we're talking about, not to speak of all the different programming that you can find. I love watching some of that SDPB programming throughout the year. It's fun just to tune in. You forget about some of the great programs they have.
Right, you know, a lot of great stories, local stories that you can get on TV or online to watch.
Yeah, check out the Passport as well. We'll talk about that in a little bit, how you can find more programming available. Out of the timeout, 2:30 to play. Storm again. If that one would have went down, back to Hawkins. She'll let her fly again. Got it! Tasia Hawkins with her fifth three of them in this third quarter.
Yeah, Ethan just spreading the wealth. You've got Dean with 10, Storm with 17, and Hawkins with 15.
Somebody needs to text Jenny Bridge and tell her to smile right now. Your team's up 24. She has no nails left on her left thumb. That's great. A basketball mom's life, right? Just sitting there watching their child perform in the state tournament and at a high level. 47-23. Three the other way, no good. Rebound inside, back up and good. Sophie DeLang. Keep fighting again. Down to under 2 minutes in the quarter, but if you can get just a couple of stops, get this thing back to 17, 15 going into the final quarter, you can make a game. A good pass. And the catch and finish for Braley Boardwick.
Well, Sophie DeLang, the last 30 seconds here has really played, getting that basket, kind of been a spark, trying to get them going to finish out this third quarter. DeLang has 14 points.
That pass was skibbity smooth right there.
That was a nice one. 3 for 3.
Thank you. Top of the key, Storm swinging around. Way out top, Macy Dean. Hawkins now off the dribble. Mueller, she wants in the act, too strong. Dean tips it around. We're gonna have a foul on Rachel Clark, her second personal. So Clark has 2. That is just 2 on Ethan here in the quarter, so don't worry about free throws. Minute 13 to play in the quarter. 47-27.
So the only one we have is Johnson with 4 fouls for Corsica Stickney.
Boardwick double teamed as she's being chased all over the court by Macy Dean. Storm with the rebound, run out and slow it down. Up 20. They don't care if they don't even score 60. As long as they hold Corsica Stickney to 40 or less, they feel like they've got chances to win every game. And they have just been a defensive juggernaut here throughout the season. What'd you say, 32 points a game they're holding their opponents
34,
to? 34. Yeah. Hey, you're gonna win a lot of basketball games when the other team only scores 34 points.
Yeah, they've had some really big back-to-back wins. They beat number 5 Bennett County, they beat number 2 Parkston. You know, so they've played some quality teams.
Dean with a foul, crashing the offensive glass. 18.9 seconds to play, just the third team foul. Third personal, though, on Macy Dean. So they're going to rest Dean on defense here to finish the quarter.
We talked about that trust, you know. Coach Wyzorek has
Hayden Johnson.
Hayden Johnson on the floor right now with 4 fouls.
And again, sometimes during the season, you know, people are yelling, she's got 3, you got to get it out. Sometimes you got to practice playing with that, because you get to this moment, you're supposed to be one of the top 5 players. I need you on the floor. 3 on the way and good for DeLang. At the buzzer, 47-30. I said get it back to 17. We'll see. At least you make a game out of it. 8 minutes to play in our first championship semifinal. Ethan up 17. We're back with more on SD.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
8 minutes to play. Who's moving on to a championship game in Class B? Ethan Rustlers or Corsica Stickney's Jaguars? Right now, Ethan in good shape. 17-point lead. And we talked about that. Try to get it to 17 or 15, make a game out. The problem is Ethan is so super efficient and patient.
They are, and the Corsica Stickney finished out that quarter with a 7-0 run. So they have a little momentum going into the fourth. It'll be interesting to see how this first few minutes goes for both teams.
Dean back on the floor with those 3 fouls, playing the point for Ethan. Match up against that 2-3 zone that Corsica Stickney's playing now. More traditional 2-3. That's going to be over and back. So if you're Corsica Stickney, that's what you wanted. Kind of force that turnover. Sophie DeLang will inbound right in front of us. She's kind of caught fire again here.
Yeah, has 17 points, 5 of 9 from the 3-point line.
Bordwick on the move, pull-up jumper, that is smooth. There are some kids you just love watching shoot the basketball. She would fall into my top 5 right now, the way she strokes it, especially on a pull-up jumper.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of the pull-up jumper. Just having that in your back pocket to recognize when you don't have one of your other go-to moves.
Well, and she's being played a diamond in one. She's got to find ways to get shots up, and she is. Storm short, but the rebound, Nebelcek, they lost track of her.
So did they get an assist for that?
Didn't touch the rim, so technically, I don't know, I'm not a big stat guy, so I think you got to say that was a missed shot.
Probably.
That one would be a shot attempt, even though they get the rebound. Johnson rather, swing it around. Gerlach has it tipped away. Storm will run out now, 3-on-3. Storm, crossover, up top, no good. Hit off the bottom of the rim. Johnson will push now. Dean doesn't even get back, she just runs to Bordwick. Watched everybody run by her. Gerlach in and out, no good. Clock with the rebound. Storm will slow it down. Marissa Storm sets the offense for Coach Young's Ethan Rustlers. That's a good move. Madeline Nebelcek. Little ball fake to the left, rip it, and take it to the rack. Full timeout. We're going to take a quick one as well on this full 60-second timeout. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
With 6:03 to play in our opening championship semifinal. The Ethan Rustlers by 19, 51-32. Led by as many as, what, 23? Was that our biggest?
22, 23, somewhere in there.
Remy Nelson will leave it up over the top. Sophie DeLang. Ooh, good ball fake. Had the wide open three, chose not to take it. DeLang on the baseline, kick it out. And a knee blocking foul called against Madeline Nebelsick. That'll be Madeline's first personal. $18 of 40 is Ethan right now, shooting 45%, but 40% from behind the three-point line. Haven't missed a free throw, 2 for 2. He only shot 3 free throws in the entire game.
Right, you know, but I was just looking at that, you know, Ethan only has 7 fouls, and Corsica Stickney has 10, with 4 of those going to Johnson.
Way out top, Sophie DeLang.
Both teams playing some zone, not really pressing a whole lot.
And both teams are smart, very high IQ teams. Talked with Coach Wazorek out in the hallway before this, and that's all he could talk about with Ethan, how high IQ they are as a team, not only with the basketball, but defensively especially.
Another tough jumper by Boardwick. Didn't get it to fall, but it was a tough kind of off balance.
Darian DeVries knew that foul was going to be called on her, and as she's laying on the ground, was giving the motion. She pulled me down, she said. Mike Ruth wasn't having it, of course. The Golden Whistle reported the foul over here on Darian. Found out Gary Duffy turned 73 today, 73 years old.
I wonder how many games he's reffed in his career.
1 million.
A lot.
That's a charge. Oh, we're going the other way. That's a double pump charge call right there. Yesterday we had the fake pump one way and then point the other way. This time it was a little double pump charge on that one. That was great. Let's get him to look at us. It is media timeout time. We are under 5 with 4:58 to play. We'll take that break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
SDPB brings you the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament. You can catch all the action Thursday, March 19th through Saturday, March 21st. For more information, including the multiple ways to watch the games live, go to sdpb.org/basketball. Complete coverage of the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Dakota Bank and SD Corn.
Out of the media timeout, we are good to go. Mr. Ruth down there by Ethan's bench waiting for them to come out, and we are all set. 4:58 to play. Only 1 timeout remaining for Corsica Stickney, 3 for Ethan, so they've used a bunch here already.
And we just talked about not a lot of press, but Ethan's going to come out in full court. Again, just shadowing Boardwick, not giving her a whole lot of room to get anything done.
Yeah, and they bring Mueller out just to try to confuse Corsica Stickney a little. I think make others come up and take a little time. Everybody else was back. It was just those 2 up, but 51-32, still 19-point lead. Man-to-man now for Corsica Stickney, and they'll switch any screen up top or any handoff. It's not even a screen, really. It's just literally a handoff. We talked about that, playing them. They do that handoff, and they don't really settle out of screens. So if you're the defender and can step into the way, the path of that handoff, you might get a charge call once in a while.
Right.
But so hard to do because you don't know if they're going inside or on top side once in a while. Coach Wazorek shouting instructions to his team right in front of us. Wants to overload a side and see if they can look to attack You're going to bring Boardwick to that side or overload the opposite side. We'll see. You try to overload. Throwing away. Just right at the top. Macy Dean just everywhere defensively.
Yeah, and I think they, Corsica Stickney just picked the ball up too far, and I don't think he wanted her to pick the ball up quite that far away.
Dean out top, and here is where Ethan is so dangerous. They just eat clock away the last 5 minutes of the game. Nebelsick going to be held by DeLang. Sophie will pick up just her first personal. I think we're going to have a timeout. Corsica Stickney wants to talk things over. Probably going to get a full. It will be a full timeout. I don't think he's got any 30s left. That was his last timeout. So again, right here, Corsica Stickney, Coach Wazorek says, you know what? 3:39, we're down 19. One last ditch. We got to see if we can make a 90-second run to cut this baby down, cut it in half, and you got a chance. But boy, it's hard to do against a team that just knows how to eat clock.
Right, and they're just going to be very deliberate, and I'm sure that's something that Ethan talked about in that last timeout they had, just being smart with the basketball, taking more, that press isn't really anything fancy, not really trying to get any probably traps or anything, but it takes more time off the clock.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what they do. You take a look at the Ethan crowd, pretty much everybody adorned in the blue. Live like Harder, Reed Harder, a former assistant boys basketball coach and teacher at Ethan High School, passed away tragically in a car accident this basketball season, right around the girls' Hanson Classic time. They had to postpone the game because of that, and the whole community has just rallied around the family of Reed Harder, and they wear those shirts with pride to talk about him. I don't know if we can get a shot of the back of one. They have a saying on the back of all of them as well, but just a beloved member of their community and their school community, and played baseball at Dakota Wesleyan University, 28 years old. Just a man's life gone too soon, but I guess God had a bigger plan for him than we did. Yeah, we had a carry call right before the timeout. Yeah, they got a carry on the, that was the time before, wasn't it? That was against Corsica. I thought the carry was on Corsica Stickney. There we go. Yeah. That was the time before.
Well, when you've ref that many games, they start to everything runs together.
Now we're ready. Again, they got it right. Came over, talked to the alternate official. Dean misses, but gets her own rebound.
Kind of smiles about that one.
Macy Dean, or rather Madeline Nebelsick. To Storm. Hawkins.
Again, you talk about that patience that they have. Just going to take time off the clock. Corsica Stickney just has the 2 fouls.
Well, and they had to use one, but again, they just took 26 seconds off the shot clock. You foul at 9 on the shot clock. Again, you probably want to foul, but maybe sooner, right? If you're trying to do that. Now,
new shot clock.
Now what do? You wait again, or do you? They're not really putting a lot of pressure on right now.
I don't know. It's kind of early. You're at that. What is it? 19 points here, and it's hard to decide. Do you start fouling and get to see if they can make a couple free throws? But they're also a pretty good free throw shooting team.
Yeah, they're good shooters, and that's again, you're just kind of a dilemma. There's a good move. Storm kicked, no. And not deliberate. Too strong for Nebelsick. 3 bodies up to rebound. And the smallest one of the bunch, Macy Dean, came down with it, but it was tied up.
Corsica Stickney gets the arrow on that one.
Held ball at 2:36 to play. Again, at the end of this one, we'll visit with the winning coach. Try to catch what looks like right now to be Tom Young down near his bench. I'll switch over to the mic in a little bit here. Sophie DeLang, another 2-pointer.
Yeah, 19 for her.
Yeah, she's had another good ball game, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's had 2 really good basketball games, 12 points yesterday. Boardwick had the 26 yesterday.
Held to just 6 points, though, by the freshman tonight out of that diamond and one.
Yeah, they've really applied the pressure to her.
Think about that. She's held Boardwick, an all-state player, to 6 tonight. She held an all-state player in Brindley Landis to 6 last night, and, a couple of those were late that Landis got when it was pretty much academic. Hawkins out top.
Yeah, you look at that, and she played 32 minutes last night.
Had to come out tonight for about 12 seconds.
Yeah,
at the
29
end of that
minutes
quarter.
out of the. So I think she sat out about a minute.
Yeah.
Is all today.
If that much, probably a minute on the stat program, but on
Right.
clock time, I don't think it was very much. Storm keeps the dribble to Dean. 22. Corsica Stickney will clear benches. And Ethan starting to sense it as well. Timeout on the floor called by Tom Young.
Coach Young's going to maybe talk to his players a little bit. Might be looking to sub a few people in.
And Corsica Stickney's dream of a state championship, or at least playing for one, has now gone by the wayside at the hands of the Ethan Rustlers. So Ethan, 10 out of the last 12 state tournaments they've been here. 3 out of the last 4. They weren't here last year, and they have made, taken advantage of every opportunity this year to get back to what they wanted to do, and now they're going to play for a state title come tomorrow night.
Yeah, Coach Young has done a great job. He's been coaching, like you said, a long time. Girls basketball at Mitchell Christian, boys basketball. But the last 10 years down at Ethan has had 8 20-plus seasons out of those 10 years down at Ethan.
Yeah, what I say, 255 girls victories to his credit in his career right now. So one of the top 10 active coaches winning-wise right now, or wins-wise. Down to 7 on the clock, 5 on the shot clock. Nebelsick has it blocked. And then they're gonna say, just go shot clock violation. Good call. Yep, we'll go the other way.
Get the last sub in here. Brindley Williams coming in for Ethan, just a 5'11" freshman. Their tallest player on the team.
Step through Gerlach up and a travel. They'll say she drugged that pivot foot. Down to 1:05 to play. Ethan will bring it up with Maya Storm, younger sister of senior Marissa. Well, they end up 3-point baskets, 13 made three-pointers tonight. And the leaders led tonight. There's another 3, make it 14 threes. Maya Storm picked up her big sister, left off. 54-34. We'll catch Coach Young. His heart will be beating 150 miles an hour, I guarantee you. I'm not sure if his daughter Jill is watching in. She probably is in Illinois. She and her husband Clint Sargent, a couple former Jackrabbits, get to watch Dad coaching on their old floor, essentially. Proud moment in that family tonight. It's a rugby scrum right now, and Ethan comes away with it. Maya Storm thought about it again. Way out high, that's number 44, Anna Castillo. Castillo has it on the right wing, 10 seconds to play. I'm gonna switch over to the handheld mic here, guys, so if you wanna turn that on, I got the headset going.
We will make our way down the backside of the bench. And you hear the noise in the background as the Ethan Rustlers will make their way to the state championship game tomorrow night. We'll let coaches shake hands, and then we're going to catch Coach Young down in front of the basket after he gets done shaking some hands. So congratulations to the Ethan Rustlers. No, we won't talk to Jerry Beers. Handshakes go. Lisa, what a game. The three-point ball was the difference tonight, and they shot it well.
Yeah, they just shot so well. They're 14 of 36 from the three-point line. Only made 19 baskets, 14 of those coming from behind the arc. Corsica Stickney, 7 threes. Started out well, but just kind of struggled there in the second half.
Coach Young making his way over. We'll let him get a drink, catch his breath. He's watching his team put the sign on. Congratulations, Coach. 10 out of 12 years, we're going to look over here. We got to get you on camera. 10 out of 12 years you've been in this state tournament. You weren't here last year. Your team has made the most of getting back here.
Yeah, you know, this is a really special year. You know, I'm sure a lot of people know what's happened at Ethan, and I couldn't be prouder of these girls. They're awesome. You know, I told my assistant coach we were down 16-6 in the region tournament at halftime, and look where we're at.
You and I have talked a lot over the last few years, and you've talked about your team, about being, when they're hot from the outside, 13 threes tonight, or 14 threes. You were hot tonight.
Yeah, we were. You know, we're not very big, but, you know, the girls spend a lot of time on shooting, and that's one of our strengths, and tonight we were good.
Lastly, talk about your freshman, Macy Dean. That's 2 nights in a row. She's held the star of the other team out of your Diamond and One to less than double digits.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Macy's just an incredible kid who's just gotten better and better and better. Tough mentally. You know, she's a cross-country runner, you know, and so she doesn't get tired. She just keeps on going, and I'm so proud of her.
Back to the state title game. We'll talk about that tomorrow night. Go enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Tom. Congratulations. Tom Young, we'll take a break. We're back with more from South Dakota State University and First Bank and Trust Arena on SDPB Sport.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
On Masterpiece.
I couldn't leave you all on your own.
You have to.
The D-Day veteran made a break for the coast.
Where is he? He's in France.
At 90.
Well, he has done it before. Only then, of course, they were shooting at him. He trusted me.
We've never wasted 1 second together.
The Great Escaper on Masterpiece.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
We are back inside First Bank and Trust Arena here on the campus of South Dakota State University. Brad Beer alongside Lisa Bahi. And, well, we've got one in the state championship game. The Ethan Rustlers came to play. They defended like they do. They made shots tonight, and there they are, waiting the winner of Parkston and Harding County coming up next.
Yeah, I think when you see these highlights, you'll see a lot of three-point shots being made. You know, when you look at total shots made was... total shots 19, 14 of those from behind the arc.
5 twos and you win the basketball game. It's just always amazing to me.
You know, 45 total shots taken, 36 from behind the arc. So just when you look at the highlights, you just see a lot of threes.
Hawkins got hot. Marissa Storm, right from the get-go, Marissa Storm was feeling it. Sophie DeLang did everything she could to keep her team in it. Just not enough threes. And again, when you they held them to their season average, 34. That's what they held teams to all year long, did Ethan. And we talked about that with Coach Young, with Macy Dean, a cross-country kid. She's tough. You talked about that earlier. We were talking off air. When you're a track kid or a cross-country kid, it's you against you a lot of times. It isn't necessarily you against other people because there's a lot that goes through your mind.
Well, exactly. Running the quarter mile, the half mile, that is just a challenge mentally. It's not, you're running against other schools, but you're trying to overcome the little one that's in your brain telling you, oh, you can slow down, you can stop, and you got to keep going. And I just think when you learn to overcome that carries over into all your other sports.
Take a look real quick individually. Ethan finished. Marissa Storm, 17. Tasia Hawkins, 15. 10 for Macy Dean. On the other side, Corsica Stickney.
Sophie DeLange had the 19. You had Hayden Johnson, Boardwick both had 6. So Boardwick both nights have been held to just the 6 points both nights. But then, Hayden Johnson, got to tip her hat, played how much of that second half with 4 fouls. And,
stayed in it.
Stayed in it. She looked at coach and said, I got this, and she was able to complete the game.
Yeah, just 23 total turnovers, 14 by Corsica Stickney, just 9 by Ethan. Shoot the ball well, take care of the basketball, and then play defense. That's a pretty good formula for success.
Yeah, and they, when you look at Corsica Stickney, they still played really good defense. They didn't get a lot of looks in the lane, but Ethan was just too much from the three-point line.
We'll take a quick break, come back, and either reset or maybe it's story time. I'll see how much time we have left. We got about 10 minutes of warm-up left out here. We'll talk about it, do that when we return here on SDPB Sports.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
And we're back inside First Bank and Trust Arena. The Lennox Orioles in Class A, by the way, avenge 2 regular season losses to the Hamlin Chargers. A 57-41 win. So Lennox advances. Congratulations, Coach Adam Quayle and the Lennox Orioles as they move on to the state championship after losing twice to Hamlin during the season. They get their revenge, if you will, here in tonight's semifinal up in Watertown. So quite a game by the Orioles. We get ready for our second championship semifinal here in Brookings with First Bank and Trust Arena, the Harding County Ranchers, as they come in to this matchup against Parkston. They'll be the visitors on the scoreboard. 23-1. Parkston taking the floor at 21-3 overall. Of course, they came in 22-1 and 20-3 into the tournament, but with their wins last night have added to that total. Let's take a look at the Ranchers. Their profile And starting lineups, the First Dakota starting lineup. We'll start with that this time. Macy Wendt, Camry Padden, Rayleigh Hunsucker, Kaylee Padden, Braden Padden, your starting lineup. That brought to you by First Dakota. How they got here, they beat McLaughlin, Timberlake, and Jones County. And they really didn't even get challenged. And then last night was a challenge, but they prevailed with the 58-50 win over Bennett County to meet Parkston here tonight in this semifinal. They're out of Buffalo, South Dakota, Harding County. Jay Wahman, the head coach. 45 students, grades 9 through 11. Purple and Vegas Gold on Wisconsin is the school song. So with that, we'll take one more break, come back and talk a little bit about the home team on the scoreboard at 21-3, the Parkston Trojans. We'll do that when we return. You're watching South Dakota High School girls basketball on SDPB Sports.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota, committed to local success, just like you. We're all connected in South Dakota, for South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
From First Bank and Trust Arena on the campus of South Dakota State University, your home for the 2026 Girls Class B State Basketball Tournament. Next year, it'll be Class A here in First Bank and Trust Arena. Class B will move north to the Watertown Civic Arena. So we look forward to switching venues, but again, both great venues in South Dakota to watch high school basketball state tournament. Talked to a lot of different people outside of the gymnasium, out in the hallway and whatever here in between sessions at different times throughout the weekend here so far. And everybody's got great things to say about this venue as a host site for state basketball. So again, a great atmosphere. People are kind of right up on the court. You can kind of feel all that excitement, but then just great sight lines and everything in here. So look forward to more tournaments being held here at South Dakota State. Let's take a look at our home team, the Trojans of Parkston High School out of Hutchinson County. Cole Knipling, the head coach, 85 students, so twice as many students in grades 9 through 11 as their opponent, Harding County. Royal blue, orange, and white, the school colors. On Wisconsin is the school song. Beat Alcester Hudson by 34. Got a 10-point win over a really good Freeman team in the region championship play, and then a 4-point squeaker over DeSmit. And talked to Coach Knipling, he said that is not a 15 seed, as they were able to squeak by a 4-point win over the Bulldogs out of the Dakota Valley Conference. Centerville was the victim last night in a 7-point win for Parkston, 46-39. Again, low-scoring affair last night, but Parkston just playing defense. Here's their starting lineup. Alexis Holzbauer, a 5'6 junior. Lexi Schoenfelder, 5'9 senior. Berkeley Siebart, a 5'6 junior. Kiara Oakley, a 5'9 junior. And Morgan Maxwell, the 5'6 junior in the starting lineup here tonight. So we look forward to it. Head coach Cole Knipling in his 11th year, 11 years at EPJ. He was head coach there for 9 years. Went to state with them back in 2010. Spent 4 years at Mitchell. Went to state with them in 2021. 4th year as the principal in Parkston, and 3rd as the head girls basketball coach at Parkston High School. 2 straight state tournament trips now. He says he has no idea how many career wins he has. Somewhere between 215 and 225. He says that's really about all I know. Did play a little college basketball and baseball for Mount Marty. He says he's a good old ranch kid from Chamberlain, South Dakota. And he would like me to give a shout out to Knipling Hertford Ranch from Gan Valley. And we'll see if anybody knows where Gan Valley is, just to be a part of it. Trust me, there are listeners. There's probably people in Gan Valley watching. We had over 4,500 views on just YouTube in yesterday's session, in one of the sessions. So I know someone in Gan Valley is watching right now, Lisa.
I'm sure they are. You'd be surprised at how many people, not just in South Dakota, are watching these basketball games.
We talked about it across the country and throughout the world, actually. We had those Ethan graduates out of the Mitchell National Guard unit deployed over in Mitchell. I know there's a young lady from Toobrook High School, Aveline. She's over in Germany as well. It's the beauty of the internet now, and the way that SDPB can bring it to everybody. It's been so great. We wind down the clock and turn it over to our man in the PA, Mr. Al Bahi.
Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Brookings and welcome back inside First Bank and Trust Arena. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard, welcome you to this semifinal round of the State Class B Girls High School Basketball Tournament. Our second semifinal matchup features the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Ranchers from Harding County High School, taking on the home team on the scoreboard, the Trojans from Parkston High School. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of our high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support these athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Let's take a moment now to meet our junior officials of the game, sponsored by Swiftel Communications, Cubby Sports Barn Grill, Zip Trick C-Stores, and 605 Custom Design. Our junior official of the game from Parkston is Landry Fisher. Our junior official of the game from Harding County is Taylor Wendt. And now let's meet the starting lineups for both squads in alternating fashion. Starting first with the visitors for Harding County, a 5'9 junior guard, number 20, Macy Wendt. Starting for Parkston, a 5'6 junior guard, number 10, Alexis Holzbauer. For Harding County, a 5'9 sophomore guard, number 22, Camry Patton. For Parkston, a 5'9 senior forward, number 13, Lexi Schoenfelder. For Harding County, a 5'4 senior guard, number 24, Rayleigh Hunsucker. For Parkston, a 5'6 junior guard, number 14, Berkeley Siebart. For Harding County, a 5'6 senior forward, number 30, Kaylin Patton. For Parkston, a 5'9 junior forward, number 20, Kiara Oakley. For Harding County, a 5'9" junior forward, number 44, Braden Patton. And for Parkston, a 5'6" junior guard, number 22, Morgan Maxwell. Assistant coach for Harding County is Ray Ginsbaugh. Assistant coaches for Parkston are Joe Shepherdson and Mike Maxwell. Head coach of the Harding County Ranchers, Jay Waman. Head coach of the Parkston Trojans is Cole Knipling. The officials for tonight's contest are Justo Tovar, referee, umpire Jason Loggy, umpire Doug Rusink, and alternate Jordan Oden. Tonight's lineup is brought to you by Channel C. Rangers fans, are you ready? Trojans fans, are you ready? Tonight's fan sections are brought to you by the University of South Dakota.
And we're underway. Parkston will control the tip. Braden Patton and Kiara Oakley in that center jump circle. The Trojans will get it going. Zebart swing it around. Maxwell on the left wing. Man-to-man by Harding County. Holtzbauer will go to Zebart. Pull-up jumper, 15 on the right wing. No good. Rebound taken out of there by Rayleigh Hunsucker. And Harding County will attack. Camry Patton, they're going to say travel. One extra step. Got bodied up there. Pretty good defense to step in there. Really not a charge, and I'm not sure it's not a block because the ball's kind of everywhere up there. And a little full court pressure applied. By the way, we didn't talk about this last night. Camry Patton set a school record for Harding County for steals this year, over 137 now. Coming into the tournament, she had 137, and I know she had 2 or 3 last night.
Yeah,
Parkston on the run out. Zebart in traffic, and a foul going to be whistled against number 30, Kaylin Patton. Kaylin will pick up her first personal. Zebart will go to the free throw line.
Just got to find out which Patton, K Patton that is.
Yeah, Camry. It's Camry if you can figure out. Number 22.
4 steals last night.
Okay. Yeah, what is there? 3 Ks? On the Patton. Yep. Calla, Kaylin, and Katie.
Yep. Camry, Kaylin, Katie. There's 4.
Oh, okay, great.
And then the 1B.
That's great for us. 2-0 on both free throws by Zebart.
Makes it a little bit harder because the stat sheet just puts K Patton, so you gotta try to locate numbers. And
well, B Patton just made that one. Braden with the first basket of the game for either team as far as field goals go.
You know, this game will be an interesting game. Harding County has had 10 games where they've scored 70-plus points, and you look at Parkston only allows about 34 points on average.
Patton just took that one away from Oakley on the top, so add to her total 142 total steals in her career, or in the season, I should say. Oakley will take it out. 1-2-2 full court press applied by Harding County. To the middle of the floor, and when you get it to the middle, you can attack the zone. They got it across this time. Oakley stepped through off the glass and got it. Tough shot falling down.
Yeah, that was a really tough shot. She had finished yesterday 13 points and 12 rebounds.
She had a nasty bruise on the left side of her left knee, too, if you get a chance to see that. I think that happened last night, because I don't remember noticing that during the game. Right. It stands out pretty good. Foul in the paint, to the floor goes Kaylee Patton. Here you'll see it, spin move, step through, and a little sandwich action. Call that on Maxwell, number 22, Morgan Maxwell, the 5'6" junior, picking up her first personal. Kaylee Patton. Telling his player, just keep playing. That's his way of telling the officials he didn't quite agree with their call.
2 officials in pretty close proximity, and We can hear him, so we know they can hear him.
Even Odin's is smiling at that one over here as the ultimate official. Last touch by Camry Padden out of bounds. By the way, those free throws missed by Padden. Went up to play a little pressure defense. Look for a screen, can't get it. Ziebart, kick out, right wing three, Holzbauer, no. Camry Padden with the rebound, she'll grab and go. Push it out, on the run, Hunsucker got it! Really, Hunsucker. First field goal of the game for her. In traffic, Ziebart fouled. So Berkeley will go back to the free throw line again. She's already 2 for 2. Foul called on number 30, Kaylee Padden. Her second.
Padden, yep, her second.
Ziebart gets that one to go. 5:17 to play. There's a good shot of Coach Wahman. He was excited last night after the win. Get his team 3 straight years in the state tournament. Get them to the state semis tonight. Last year they were the 2 seed, got upset on day 1 and pushed into the afternoon bracket.
I think they changed that foul from Padden to 44 Braden Padden.
They did, okay.
Yeah, that went, took it from 30. Kaylin Padden has 1 and Braden Padden has 1.
Okay. We have a moving screen there. Bump anyway. Well, there she's going to get it right back. Yeah, moving screen. Kaylen Padden going to pick that up. Just as I erased it, put it right back in. Maxwell will take it against the zone press. To the middle, Ziebart. Guarded by Wendt. It's hard to go from that 1-2-2 into man-to-man. You really got to know where your person is and locate them early. Harding County doing a good job of finding their person. Swat by Braden Padden. And then a foul. We're going to have a hold, and then we're going to go to a media timeout if we get it, if they see us. Foul call on Braden Padden. Media timeout if we get it. There we got him. All right, media timeout coming up on the foul on Braden Padden. She's got 2. We'll take a break. We're back in 60 on SDPB Sports.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
And we're back out of the media timeout. Jake, you've got way too much time on your hand. Jason Wenzel giving me all kinds of Gan Valley facts from the 1955 state championship team. He's throwing out names like crazy right now. Oakley swinging around. Ziebart ends up with Knipling on the baseline. No good. Kennedy missed her first shot of the game. Now Hunsucker will settle for Harding County. Swing it right baseline. Wendt, kick it out. Hunsucker to Wendt. Pull up at the free throw line. Got it, Macy Wendt.
It was nice, a nice little drive. Realized she had the open shot at the elbow and nice little jump shot.
8-6 our score. They're gonna call travel, I think. I don't know if he's gonna say she drug it or because she picked it up and put it down.
We got 8th grader Macy Wallman in. Had a nice game yesterday, 12 points.
7 of 10 from the free throw line in the 4th quarter alone. And that's where most of her points came.
Yeah, and step up and hit those as an 8th grader in a pretty intense game.
Page on the pick and roll, and a foul. Gonna have a hold as Page tried to roll out of that. Foul called on number 21, Kennedy Knipling. That'll be her first personal. 3:46 to play in our opening quarter. Baseline out of bounds. They're going to get it to Wallman, and she'll get the cut to the basket and the lay-in. Macy Wallman has her first bucket. 5 players already to score.
And Wallman and Knipling both playing for their fathers.
I'm going to say double dribble. I don't know if when she came through, she pushed it down with one hand to gain it, then grabbed it, then dribbled again. Yeah, that's what he's saying. I thought she just tipped it, but they're going to say it was to gain control. Again, it's 86 feet from me, so I couldn't see it.
Well, that's always a tough call.
Yeah, and it's a judgment call, and he had a view that he thought it was a tip or a push to gain control.
So I always try to tell young players, just grab it with 2 hands.
Great pass, Knipling down inside to Oakley. Yeah, grab it with 2, catch it with 2 hands. Quit trying to catch it with 1.
You know, and then you don't. It's not even a question then.
No, I couldn't agree more. Tipped away, Knipling comes out of there with it, slows it down, and then Harding County jumps right into a little full court press with their 2 guards, Wallman and Wendt. Ziebart in traffic for pinball action, and she misses it short. Backdoor, Camry Padden, jump stop, step through, I should say. And Camry Padden has her second field goal. 5 players have scored, and one of them has 2 field goals to lead 12-8 for Harding County.
That's number 5 for Harding County, so Parkson's going to get some trips to the free throw line.
Yeah, that was called on Wallman. The 8th grader picks up her first personal. At the free throw line will go number 22, Morgan Maxwell. Maxwell, first time at the free throw line tonight.
The other fouls belong Kaylin Padden on the bench with 2 and Braden Padden on the bench with 2.
Out comes Macy Wendt. Let's see who came in for her. Was it number 14? Was Satin Wilson just coming in? A little early.
Satin Wilson, yeah.
Yeah. Trying to get a jump start. Tapio.
Hunsucker came in.
Came back in. Okay, there you go. Satin was already on the floor. Now Wallman will bring it across the timeline. Hand off Camry Padden. Padden, just a sophomore. She's another one, too. Plays way more mature than a sophomore.
Well, and just even her demeanor on the court, being a leader, you just see her directing traffic a lot, just really has that basketball IQ.
Watched that during the state volleyball tournament as well. She was one of their setters, and she just kind of led them as a sophomore. She could swing, but she could set. Did a little bit of everything for them. Oakley, kick it out. Tapio, trapped and gets rid of it to Ziebart. Ooh, late lob to Oakley, tipped away on the run out. Satin Wilson. Wilson, good hesitation, up off the glass and good with the left hand. Great hesitation dribble to let the defense go by and then lay it in with the left. I don't know if we'll get another look at that. It was coming right into the camera, but great job. 2 minutes to play in our opening 8 minutes. Wilson makes good on the free throw for the 3-point play. Then a sub comes in.
Yeah, Knipling comes out and
back in was
Holzbauer.
I think Alexi came back on the floor, or Alexis. Pull-up jumper in the middle of the lane, no good. Rebound, Camry Padden. Nice job of rebounding, strong hands, keep it high, and clear it out and go. Wallman now. There's going to be a quick whistle and a hold underneath in the lane. We'll go the other way. Going to be free throws for Holzbauer. Foul going to be called.
I think on Ziebart. Or sorry, Satin Wilson.
Yeah, wrong 14.
Wrong
there,
14,
right?
yep. You're getting to that 8th game of the tournament, keeping things straight.
Alexis Holzbauer makes good on her first. She will get a second. Out will come Tapio as back in was Schoenfelder. And then Braden Patton comes in for little sister Cameron. No good on the second free throw. Oakley with the rebound though. Stayed straight up. Strong hands, kick out Ziebart, taken away. Satin Wilson one-on-one with Ziebart. 14 against 14, up and good. And Satin Wilson with another three-point play opportunity. Back-to-back baskets and three-point play opportunities for Satin Wilson as Ziebart will pick up her first personal. Braden Patton comes out. Again, offense for defense right now.
Yep.
Early in this one, first quarter already doing
I'll say
it.
we're in the first quarter, and both of those Pattons picking up 2 fouls already.
And a timeout is going to be called, a 30-second timeout for Parkston, trailing 18-9. Harding County and Coach Wahman had his team ready to go here in this championship semifinal. Again, a big win for them last night. So you talk about the teams in the afternoon that have to try to get ready and play that game. Obviously, you're excited because you're in the championship semifinals. But after an emotional win over a really good Bennett County team last night, hard for Harding County to get ready to go. But, man, they've shown that it was easy for them.
Yeah, you know, they these games, when you win that first game, even in the late games, and you get back to the hotel late, probably look to try to find something to eat. But still, you're just probably riding that wave of emotion from that first night.
Kiara Oakley will inbound for Parkston. .125 and counting, 18-9. Harding County has doubled up Parkston here in the first quarter. Long lob to Oakley. She'll go up and in. And a foul will be called. Oakley with a chance of her own at a three-point play basket. It's good. Fouls on number 20. Macy Went, her first personal foul. One shot coming for Oakley. Kiara has 7 of the 12 for Parkston.
So just like that, we're back within 6.
Page up, too strong. Rebound Went, saves it into the hands of Ziebart. Parkston going to try to run. They will down the sidelines. Went giving chase, couldn't quite catch up. She went right by her.
I like that one.
That wasn't one of my words. Sorry, I'm not going to get those in. These are tough tonight. Foul on number 20. Macy Went.
2 for her.
She ran by her. They're going to call the block, kind of bumped into her at the same time. And the free throw good for Maxwell. Patton comes back in, Camry Patton. I don't know if you checked the A. Lennox, a big win over Hamlin to advance to the state title game earlier. Talked about that in between.
Brandon Valley looks like they're going to beat Aberdeen right now. I think 54 seconds left in the third, 52-35.
5-0 run here for Parkston to cut the lead in half. Back to a 4-point game, 18-14. Again, 5-second call taken out of girls basketball or out of basketball in high school on the dribble. Once you pick it up, though, then it's back in. Carson Page, a little short jumper from about 8 feet. Gets it to go. Under 30 to play, down to 22 seconds. Holzbauer picked up the dribble on the wing. The 24, Graceland straight. Now Holzbauer. Swing it around Ziebart. 3 with 6 seconds. No. Rebound taken out of there. by Wahman. She'll launch it to the other end of the floor, try to get it to a teammate. Satin Wilson can't do it. We go to the end of our first quarter, 20-16, or excuse me, 20-14, a 6-point lead for Harding County. We'll take a break, back with more on SDPB Sports.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Quick start out of that break, and Harding County controls. Just missed a couple dribbles up top. We're good now.
Yeah, that first quarter, you have Parkson 8 of 10 from the free throw line, only 3 of 10 from the field.
Missed a quick 3 there to get things started. Off the left side, rather. Parkson controls. Oakley, backdoor cut, nobody there. Ziebart was there, but couldn't handle it. Harding County got a hand on it. Taken away by Ziebart. Off the glass and good for Berkeley.
Kaylin Patton kind of had to just kind of let her go. She knows she has those 2. Didn't want to pick up a 3rd one early here in the start of the second quarter.
Travel call at the other end. Yeah, that was really good job by Ziebart to set her up to get that takeaway, though.
Right.
Back in Satin Wilson. Out comes Camry Patton. A lot of different players getting baskets in that first quarter for Harding County.
Well,
7.
And you just had a lot of rotation with the different players kind of ending up in foul trouble early in that first quarter.
Parkston on the right wing now with Holzbauer back up top. Ziebart, she's going to look for Maxwell. Maxwell on the dribble drive. Foul going to be called. That going to be on Patton standing there or Went coming in late? Went, that's what I thought.
That's going to be her
third on Macy. She kind of controls things for Harding County, especially when Camry Patton is on the bench. And I'm not sure, she has no foul trouble, but she's on the bench, kind of sat that last part of that first quarter, and then came right out to start this second quarter. So not sure if she's not feeling well or what the story is, but regardless, we'll have to do it with people off the bench right now if you're Harding County fans. Maxwell missed them both. Patton swing it to Wilson. Wilson left wing. Wahman. Wahman against the zone now. A 1-3-1 by Parkston. 3 on the way. Got it. Kaylin Patton with the triple. Her first field goal of the game. 8th player to score for Harding County in their 23 points. Ziebart on the drive. Up and good, and a blocking foul. Kaylin Patton will pick up number 3, and Berkeley Ziebart has a 3-point play opportunity.
Yeah, so we're just a couple minutes into the second quarter, and we've got 2 on the bench for Harding County with 3 fouls.
125 ticks off the clock, and we're in trouble if you're Harding County. Too strong for Ziebart on the free throw. She's got 8 points in the game. Harding County will come the other way. Wahman back up top. Wilson. Satin guarded there by Maxwell. Give it to Wahman against that 1-3-1. They changed it to a bit. Yep, still in that. No, now they're back into man-to-man. Tipped away, taken back by Braden Padden. Wahman for three. Too strong. Rebound, last touch, Parkston. Little contact on the rebound. But
Yeah, I think Carson Page was holding her breath for a little bit.
Coach Knipling said, telling Doug Rusink, oh, she's getting a little extra stuff out here. Little green chicken wing. Hey,
there you go.
Got it in there. I don't know. That must be some TikTok, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I was challenged by one of my players, Brinley Hansen, one of my seniors, sent me a text that I dare you to do all these. We'll see. Padden out top, swing it right side. Three on the way, too strong. Rebound taken out of there by Tapio. She's done a good job with rebounding from the moving screen. What was it, offensive try? I didn't see. Just looked away.
I was just looking away.
Oh, that'll be on. Yeah, that's definitely a forearm shiver there from Kiara Oakley.
Now, if you keep the forearm in.
And just keep running, but
just keep
she
going.
didn't do that.
That is, yeah.
It was low, but it was out. Hunsucker loses the handle, gets it back. Guarded by Oakley. Three on the way. Satin Wilson too strong. And a foul going to be whistled against Hunsucker. Rayleigh tried to go up and tip that rebound to keep it alive, but contact is made, and we're going to have a media timeout if we get the yeah, there we go. Media timeout. Thank you, Al. Now we got it. Back in 60 seconds. We take a break on SD PB Sports.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Parkston and Harding County for a trip to the state championship awaiting them, the Ethan Rustlers. We got a ways to go in this one, though. We're just about halfway through quarter number 2. 23-18, Harding County by 5. The number 6 seed. Could we have a 4-6 matchup in the finals? I guess we'll see. Down the lane, too strong for Oakley. Braden Padden with the rebound, and then Satin Wilson has had to come in and play big minutes off the bench with some foul trouble. Camry Padden back on the floor now. Man-to-man by Parkston. And a push in the back. Carson Page was trying to post up against Tapio and just kept getting pushed out further and further. Once she jumped and the contact happened, that's when they called the foul. Wilson against Knipling. Inside Page, good position, turnaround too strong. Rebound, Braden Padden just missed it, falling away on the baseline. Now off and running, tipped away. Camry Padden the run out. She'll get the left hand, no good. Rebound, Wahman, no good. Battle for the rebound, last touch by Harding County.
Yeah, you had 4 Harding County players just kind of looking on that trip. Parkston got the ball, trying to get down the court and just looking to tip it away.
Carson Page doing a good job. Those long arms just to try to rebound there. Tipped it out, but lots of full court D right there.
Well, I think they really like to do that when you're unorganized off a rebound.
A lot of times everybody's taking off to run the break, and you turn around and it's 1-on-4. Shot goes up right now. You better be physical and in position because they're letting you play. And it's not like it's hard fouls. It's just a lot of contact on rebounds. Everybody's playing hard. And you just got to be strong with it.
I think on that one, Camry Patton down there got knocked on by her own teammate. Both going for the ball.
Carson Page with a step-through lay-in. Now it's back to 7, 25-18. And Coach wants to talk about it. Coach Cole Knipling says, we're going to stop this little run, see if we can keep it tight. You don't want to get back to double digits or 9 points as you get close to halftime.
And Parkston hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Harding County's only made one of their last 8, so it's not like we've had a lot of scoring in the last couple minutes, but just wanted to talk about things.
3:10 to play, 25-18. Again, Class A girls basketball going on right now on SDPB.org and on SDPB3 TV. Double A's out in Rapid City. They are on SDPB1 TV. Next week, I'll be up in Aberdeen. Steve Erickson will join me, and we'll have some Class B basketball action for you. Double A and A, both out in Rapid City. The A, I believe, in the Monument. The Double A in the Ice Arena, if I remember correctly, this year. Lots of trips out west with the Denny Sanford Premier Center unavailable for play. I believe everything East River next year on the girls' side anyway.
Yes.
Double A boys, I believe, is back in Rapid. Or is it Double A girls? No, I think they're at the Sanford, at the Pentagon.
They're in the Pentagon.
Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun. That's a great atmosphere for that tournament. I remember the times it's been there.
I think that'll be a great atmosphere for that. You know, they play the NSIC tournament there. It's a great tournament facility for that type of tournament.
Turnaround, Oakley, nobody to pass to, decides to shoot it. When in doubt, let it fly. The push ahead, Camry Patton throws Wahman toward the hoop. Good job. And then steps through, missed it. Carson Page again. Carson Page has had a nice game. 6 points off the bench, but a hard rebound and again, put back right away. There's a foul going to be whistled. Doug Rusink says we're going to shoot 2. Grab on the arm. Foul called on number 23. Wahman.
Yeah, you haven't seen much of Wendt and Kaylin Patton in the last few minutes. Both on the bench with 3 fouls, picked up their third, both of them early at the start of the second quarter.
Zebart with the first free throw, good. Second one up and good as well. She is, 6 of 7 at the free throw line. Only one she missed was a 3-point play opportunity. She's got 10 points to lead Parkston. Inside, they're going to go right at Page again, and Carson Page delivers. Right hand on the left side. Long arm, 6-foot sophomore, able to go up and in.
Carson Page came out, had 6 points last night, right at what she usually scores. Her up 8 points here tonight early in the game.
Harding County by 9, 29-20. Harding County with Wilson in the lane, has it ripped away, gets it back, then tipped again, saved, and Hunsucker on the run, step through left hand in the lane, got it to go.
I'm not sure how Hunsucker got that off the tip.
I don't know if she even needed to go that way, but she did. Comfortable with that shot, apparently. Now it's 11. 3 on the way, Holzbauer, and that one's gonna stick in the crotch of the rim. We'll keep it Parkston basketball, though. It is theirs on the held ball. Who's gonna jump up and get it? Jerry Beers running out there. No, he's just going to get a stick or something. I thought maybe Jerry was gonna run out, jump up, and swat that out of there. Look at the ball girl, or the sweeper. Made Beers run all the way over to get a ball, and she just steps out with the sweeper, and I got it. Well done.
Abby Bisker.
Is that who it was?
I believe that's who it is. I can't see through all the people.
Long, dark, black hair.
Yeah. I got some Brookings athletes working the tournament.
Slipping, falling, and getting rid of it was Wahman somehow. Page again inside, loses the handle this time. Jump ball or held ball going to be called. We don't technically call it a jump ball, I guess. He'll see the scramble, fire it in, and then 2 hands on and a quick jump ball call. Held ball call. Did it again.
Well, sometimes
Old
it's
school,
hard.
right?
It's,
I'm
yeah,
old school.
it's was jump ball for a lot of years.
Carson Page inside, turnaround off the glass. Be kind of fun once in a while to play that rule again. Let him jump it up wherever the held ball is.
Just not in middle school.
We did that in practice one time, and they just couldn't stand it because some of the stuff we did. We went old school, and every little thing we did there. This is not fun. Up and good for Oakley.
That's a good way to mix things up a little bit, though.
Back when I was assistant volleyball coach, we did that once too. Went back and played the 15 where you had to score only on the serve, the old style, you know. You could block the serve. We let them have all these rules that used to be able to do. It took a while for them to figure out that, wow, this could take forever.
Yeah, those are probably 2 of the best rule changes in volleyball.
You got that right.
That being one, and not switching sides
yes.
every game.
That's the one good thing that came out of COVID
yep.
was that rule.
Used to have to ref a lot of middle school volleyball games.
Oof. It's a 4-hour tour when you signed up for that in the old days.
And then we would practice afterwards. So
yeah.
There were some nights it was 9:30 before we got out of the gym.
That's why you made such big money doing that.
Yeah. That was, I think, duties as assigned.
Yes, of course.
No
the small
extra
print.
pay.
Yeah, small print. Saved and then off the leg of Parkston. Harding County basketball. 23.4 seconds to play in the second quarter. 32-22. Harding County by 10.
Parkson getting Maxwell out before she has 2 fouls, so just not wanting her to pick up a third.
Yeah, bring somebody in, play 1 possession of good defense, and then head to the locker room. Parkston try to keep this at 10. Harding County with Camry Padden trying to extend that lead. Taken away. Oakley, no control. That's not going to be travel. 5-4. Oakley all the way end to end. And they'll say she touched it last. The takeaway and the length of the floor in about 4 seconds, but comes up empty. 32-22 at the half. We'll take a break, step away, catch our breath, come back, bring you some stats, some highlights, get you set and ready for half number 2. SD.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity. You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree. Get to work at Southeast Technical College.
And at halftime at First Bank and Trust Arena, more awards. Let's turn it over to Al Bahi.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would direct your attention to center court, where Christina Sage, Assistant Executive Director for the South Dakota High School Activities Association, will be presenting Years of Service Award to 4 of our members of the officiating crew on behalf of the South Dakota High School Sports Officials Council. Our first honoree tonight for 25 years as an official is Steve Schoenfelder. In 2001, Steve began officiating high school basketball, having had the honor of working in many district, region championship games, and several state tournaments. Steve has had the pleasure of meeting many fine people over the years. He appreciates the relationships he's developed with other officials, the coaches, players, and fans. Steve is grateful to his wife, Lynette, for keeping the house running with twin boys at home and her understanding and patience while he was out doing something he certainly enjoys. A full bio for Steve Schoenfelder can be found in your state tournament program. Congratulations to Steve Schoenfelder, 25-year official award. Our next honoree is Brad Baumhoff. It's been a huge blessing for Brad to be part of the refereeing community for the last 25 years. The relationships he has developed with fellow officials, athletic directors, and coaches has been very fulfilling and something he will always cherish. 4 years ago, his family was in the midst of a medical challenge and experienced unexpected support and encouragement from the officiating community, which he and his family will be forever grateful and thankful for. He looks forward to more games on the court with our outstanding officials. Brad Baumhoff, 25-year official award, and his full bio also is in the state tournament program. Our third 25-year official is Scott Mack. For the past 25 years, Scott Mack has been a dedicated and highly respected certified official with the South Dakota High School Activities Association, serving football, volleyball, and boys and girls basketball. Throughout his career, Scott has officiated 8 girls state basketball tournaments. Over the past 25 years, Scott says the most valuable part of officiating has been the friendships and the brotherhood formed, not just with fellow officials, but with their families as well. His bio is in the state tournament program. Congratulations, Scott Mack, 25-year official. And our final honoree is a 50-year official award, Bob Malloy. Bob Malloy began his officiating career in 1975 doing junior high games in Canova for the legendary Roger Nelson. One of his first and most influential mentors was the late Buck Timmons, whose guidance played a significant role in shaping his approach to officiating. He will always cherish the relationships developed with fellow officials, coaches, administrators, players, and fans. And Bob would like to give a special thanks to his family, wife Chris, son Matthew, daughters Maggie and Marie, for all their support and understanding all these years. His full bio is in the state tournament program. Congratulations, Bob Malloy, 50-year official award.
And I think that's it for awards at this halftime. So with that, we'll take a break, come back, and get you set and ready for our second half of play here in Brookings at First Bank and Trust Arena on SDPB Sports.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Our Peterson Farm Seed Reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too. For your better half or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Back at First Bank & Trust Arena on the campus of South Dakota State University. Brad DeVere alongside Lisa Bahi. It is halftime of our second championship semifinal. And Lisa, you got a few stats as we show some highlights here from that first half.
Yeah, a few stats, stats from the first half. Harding County shooting 14 of 26 for 54%, while Parkston only 6 made baskets out of 20 for 30%, but they're 10 of 15 from the free throw line. So the free throw line has really kept them in the ball game this first half.
Yeah, been aggressive with the basketball and attacking the rim and getting some fouls called too to stay there.
Right, and so looking on Harding County side, you've got Macy Wendt, who's only played 7 minutes in the first half, and Kaylin Patton only played 5 minutes. So 3 starters that they had that spent some time on the bench. Braden Patton played about 9 minutes, spent some time on the bench too. So especially in the second quarter. So coming out third quarter, they should have some rested legs.
Yeah, the 2 stars for Parkston, Zebart and Oakley on the season, the leading scorers anyway. They both went the full 16 in that first half for the Trojans.
Yeah, Zebart has 10 points. Oakley has 9 points for Parkston.
I don't remember them coming out last night at all either. So playing the full gamut so far.
Carson Page is the big scorer for Hardin County with 8, just because of the foul trouble. They've really had to spread the wealth a little bit.
And it was a concerted effort to get her the basketball there late in that quarter as well, as they just pounded the ball inside and she was able to deliver.
Yeah, they've had 8 different people score in that first half.
Wow. Zebart way out high with a handoff, give it right back to Maxwell. Maxwell now swing it around, Holzbauer. Oakley, little pump fake, contact, up and too strong. Nice job by Kaylin Patton that time to just stand straight in and not move. Wendt thought about the pull up. Hunsucker now, back to Wendt. Oh, good take, the fake, and then up off the glass and good with the left hand for Macy Wendt. We got to give a shout to the Mullengraf family. Mark Mullengraf just getting into, he's my neighbor back in White, so the whole family's watching, but I'm sure he's getting into this stuff. He likes to yell at the TV, I hear, from his daughter.
If you watch that little possession, Hunsucker is just really on Zebart, really going to deny her the basketball.
Camry Patton picks up the personal. Just about a minute gone here in the third. Zebart being chased there by Hunsucker. And Hunsucker just going to be total denial as Oakley takes advantage of that and takes it to the rim.
Yeah, she's had some nice looks at the hoop, so it's good to see her get one to fall.
Now Wendt will slow it down a little bit, look for direction. Started on the left side, bring it back around. Swing it inside, looking to get one-on-one on the post. Ends up 1-on-2. Padden has it tipped away. Wendt gets it back and scores it with the foul.
The two big baskets out of the half for Wendt.
Yeah, she was sick of sitting on the bench, came back in and right away.
And earned a trip to the free throw line.
That one goes on Lexi Schoenfelder, her first personal. Too strong. Rebound, Ziebart. Quickly the other way, 2-on-1. Ziebart, Euro step, no. Rebound by Maxwell, up, in and out, no good. Rebound, Camry Padden. Harding County will control, and Padden will slow it down.
Two good looks for Parkston, just couldn't get either of those to go in.
Yeah, both at point-blank range, too. In the paint, no good. Rebound, Padden back up. Kaylee will draw the foul, but can't get it to go. Kaylin back. I keep calling her Kaylee. Kaylin.
That's Oakley's second.
And will make the first. Did I just hear Coach Knipley call it Brookings Special that he wanted in the next one? Did he say Brookings Special?
Maybe.
Something they set up specifically for state tournament play, maybe. Gonna set it. Harding County goes man-to-man. The drive, Oakley in traffic, no good. Rebound ripped out of there, and Padden will push. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Kaylin Padden. Rebound, Hunsucker with a 14-point lead. Harding County.
Good hands by Maxwell to kind of just grab that pass into the post.
Yeah, a little bit ragged right here on these last couple trips, but Oakley misses off the front iron. Great rebound, Ziebart, and she'll catch one forearm across the chops by Hunsucker. She came flying through trying to tip the ball away.
That'll be just her second.
And she'll catch one. Free throw for Ziebart. First one up, got it. We'll have subs. Tapio and Knipling come in for Parks, and Wendt goes out. Who came in for her? That would be, not sure who came in for Wendt. Must have been Satin Wilson. Wilson will push ahead. Hunsucker now. Way out high. Kaylin Padden runs it down. Inside. Braden Padden. Couldn't get it to go. Double dribble.
Yep, just couldn't quite get complete control over that.
Oakley was just hoping she was just ahead of Doug Rusink, so he couldn't see that. But Horst was just too quick that time down the court.
He was.
Saw that.
I think he got a head start.
Yeah, he did. He's a veteran. He knows to get going right away. Can't, oh my, that couldn't have been down any further. Kaylin Padden fouled, and we're gonna have the media timeout once we get the foul called. We're gonna look at the clock.
I believe Maxwell picks up her third.
And they're not gonna give us the media. Supposed to get it. We'll see what happens here. Is there gonna be a sub? Maybe we can get it at the sub. We gotta wait this. Now she shot the free throw, so we gotta wait till after this one. Coach Wildman's looking for it. It's supposed to be, yes. They're gonna wait till after this free throw, I think, if they make it. Call it now. And now we'll get it. They just missed it right away. Now we move on. Both free throws are good. 4:41 to play. It's a 14-point lead for Harding County. We're back with more on SD PB Sports.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
And we're back inside. There he is, the LMC Athletic Director of the Year. He's trying to hide behind Camry Padden there. There he is. Look at that guy down there. Kelly Mesmer just doing his thing down there, keeping the crowd at hand, but that front row seat, that's really what he likes, just standing there in the front row.
Now we'll see who can break the seal here. You got Parkston 0-4 and Harding County 0-5 in the last few minutes from the field.
Knipling inside. Oakley got it off the rim just before the shot clock buzzer, but couldn't quite get squared up completely. On the drive, Wilson will bring it back out, throw it away. Padden wasn't ready for it. 14-point lead still for Harding County. Again, that one doesn't look like it's going to hurt you a lot when you got a 14-point lead, but possessions matter. If you can pull some time off the clock here, really put the pressure on Parkston. Satin will tie her shoe. And they try to change up what they were doing, and it's a turnover.
Not what you probably wanted.
No, not what Coach Knipling was asking for. He wanted a screen to get it in the hands of Ziebart right away, and then the ball was thrown as they were exchanging.
Just a really heads-up play by 8th grader Macy Wallman.
Coach said, just go play. That's what she's doing. Wallman on the wing, swing it, baseline. Kaylin Padden out top, Camry Padden. Now give it up to Wallman, down the lane, runner, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Kaylin Padden up, no good off the front iron. And a foul gonna be whistled on the grab by Carson Page. I like that they've called that a foul a lot in this tournament, quite honestly, because I just feel like a lot of times during the season in girls basketball, elbows get swinging, you see that, they don't get it called right away. Boys, right. It's automatic. Girls, they let them go a little bit. And I'd rather have it called a foul right away. Now you tell your team, stop reaching in. Just don't try to grab it.
I always say call it right away. Players will adjust.
Yeah, for sure.
Big thing is be consistent.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Take a quick break, come back on this full timeout. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also powers South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Out of the timeout, 3:13 to play. First Bank and Trust Arena. Your home for the 2026 Girls Class B State Basketball Tournament, and they've been a gracious host thus far. As that goes off of Ziebart, out of bounds, she loses the handle. Line change for Harding County. It'll be Hunsucker Went and Braden Padden back in for the purple and Vegas gold. 3:05, 42-26. Again, it's been controlled, I would say, by Harding County this whole game, but it hasn't felt like a 16-point game for some reason.
No, it doesn't. You know, Parsons had some really good looks, just can't get their shots to fall.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're what? They're 0-6. But Harding County, on their hand, getting some good shots, but they're only 1 of 9.
Yeah, it's been a little rugged here in the third quarter as far as offensive side. Maxwell tried to break that string. Got it from the corner. Morgan Maxwell with the 3. Right on cue when we needed a bucket. She got one.
Putting her at 5 points for Parkston. You got Ziebart with 12 and Oakley with 11.
13-point lead for Harding County. They can be plenty patient.
Harding County, again, just really spread the wealth just because of the fouls in that first half. That they have no one in double figures, but they have 8 players that have scored.
Well, I think it's been that way for them all year long, down to 3 on the shot clock. You look at their 2 leading scorers average 12.3 points.
Right.
That's, I mean, that's what it is. So everybody gets buckets, and you look up at 9, I think about 9 kids that average 4 points or more. Blocking foul against Carson Page. Good job by Oakley to just take that strong. Here you'll see it, the drive. Page just kept her hand straight up now, but she moved into her with the body. So gonna get that call. Oakley will go to the free throw line. 1:41 to play, first one goes. Drops it to a 12-point game.
Be interesting to know as Oakley stepped off the floor. She played a full 32 minutes yesterday.
I think
22 minutes so far today.
And didn't Ziebart do the same thing? I don't think she came off last night, did she?
She had 31 minutes yesterday.
So she got a little bit of a break for some reason. Maybe she had picked up a 3rd foul.
I think she picked up I think, yeah, because she had, well, she only had 2 fouls. But maybe she had one early, or 2 early, and took a little timeout.
Kaylin Patton with the dribble drive and lay in on the baseline. Did a good job of squaring the shoulders. Oakley to the baseline. Spin move into traffic. Fired across. Ziebart looking up before she caught it. Now she'll get it back. Runner no good. Rebound. Braden Patton gets rid of it to Kaylin Patton. Kaylin will push ahead. Went now with under a minute to play in the quarter. Crossover back to the right hand. Give it back to Kaylin Patton out top. Braden Patton and Berkeley Ziebart just battling inside right now. Watch them this whole possession. That ball was blocked out of bounds, I think. Yeah. I was gonna say, if there's not a foul there, they definitely got it blocked into the stanchion.
Right.
5 on the shot clock with the blocked shot. 33.6 to play in the quarter. Patton has a slow developing play. Braden Patton comes up with it. Held ball.
We
got a timeout first. Yep, 30 seconds.
Yep.
Save the possession. Only 3 seconds on the shot clock. But you did save possession, didn't give it up. A quick 30. Cole Knipling wanted an explanation on that. Thought maybe it was in travel. 31.7 seconds to play. Ball's going to be inbounded on the far side of the basket from the benches. One of the coaches asking about that, wanted to know just exactly where the inbound would come. First horn sounds, and Troy Peterson sent me a message via Facebook. He was says that his better half, in a relationship with his better half, grew up and went to school in Gan Valley when we were having our Gan Valley talk. So, Troy, thank you for that. Appreciate that. There's the shot clock violation finally. That might have been the longest shot clock violation in the history of basketball, as long as it took to get that counted down with the timeout, the block ball out of bounds. Shot clock is off now. We'll take it down to the final shot if Parkston elects to do so, or do they try to get a quick one? They look for a screen. They trail by 14. Maxwell loses the handle. In traffic, gets it back. Oakley in the paint, down the lane, off the glass, got it. And a foul going to be whistled on number 24, Rayleigh Hunsucker.
So Hunsucker will pick up her third.
Kiara Oakley, 13 points in the game. And misses the free throw. Went will fire, but it's after the buzzer. We'll take a break. 44-32. It's a 12-point lead for Harding County. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SD PB Sports.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
As we get ready to start our final 8 minutes, we inbound from half court, and Harding County will control. Camry Padden. She's been quiet tonight. Spent a lot of time on the bench tonight. Again, not exactly sure why. Not in foul trouble. Hard to tell. Maybe doesn't feel well and you try to save legs or a little dehydrated, but man, she works hard when she's on the floor. Braden Padden, top of the key. Give it up. Oh, crossover and a travel. Just couldn't get her feet under her, couldn't come to a jump stop. So then she hopped on that right foot. Satin Wilson turned it over. Satin Wilson, Braden Padden, Kaylin Padden.
Yep.
And then Macy Went. In the paint, Oakley off the left side, no good rebound. Macy Went. She'll fire it out. Here comes Wallen, who's the other player on the floor for Harding County. Back up top, Went. Mishandle. Slows it down. Again, here's a spot where you're up 12. It's not, I mean, it's a comfortable lead, but it isn't comfortable enough. You got to still stay aggressive, but you don't want to shoot too soon.
Right, you don't want to kind of get in that where you're not looking for good shots, and sometimes that backfires on you, but yet you still don't want really quick shots.
Yeah, that one they ran about 20 seconds off the shot clock, so not a bad time to take it. Wide open look, just missed the long range jumper.
I think if you get an easy basket with a early in the shot clock, you're going to take that.
Layups and horse shots right now early in the shot clock, right? Knipling thought about it. They are the ones who need to probably shoot a little quicker, a little more urgency.
I'm just looking at the stats, you know, and
Maxwell.
Kind of just on cue again. Someone needs to step up and score besides Zebard and Oakley.
Parkston fans right now wish you would say that more often because it's happened for them. That's a 10-second call.
I think that's the first one we've had all weekend.
Yeah. Haven't had a lot of full court pressure all the time.
Right.
And Coach Wallman wanted the timeout, said, you weren't even looking at me. But again, you have to have it recognized. I mean, it's full environment. The referees are trying to watch the action. You've got to get their attention. In the lane and a dribble drive foul. Foul going to be whistled against number 21. Carson Page.
Being her third. Yeah, you know, Knipling hasn't scored yet. Tonight had 5 yesterday for Parkston and could use, again, some scoring from those other players besides Ziebart and Oakley.
Knipling had it tied up. 5-second call. So we had our first 10-second call and our first 5-second call within about less than a minute on the game clock.
Yep. Well, that's got to be within just a few 20, 30 seconds.
Yep. We're going to get our second one? No. On the line, out of bounds on the sideline. It's a 9-point game, 44-35. Coach Wahman just trying to will his kids to good possessions right now.
And Parson just really needs to make some good passes, take care of the basketball.
Yeah, there's a lot of possessions left in this game, so you just got to make everyone count. That one got away from him again a little quick. Maxwell on the attack on the baseline had it poked away. Wahman off the dribble to the lane, kick out. Hunsucker, pump fake. Inside, Camry Patton, leave it for Carson Page. Double digits for Page. She has been big time in big moments here to help her team keep a double-digit lead, 46-35.
10 points, 5 rebounds.
Next dead ball will be a media timeout. Got the timeout instead, so it'll just be a called timeout. He wants the full. It'll be right here in front of us. We talked earlier, Lisa, about some of the programming available on SDPB. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about Passport, if you can. Your passport to great programming available online, SDPB Passport. You can access hundreds of hours of programs you can't see anywhere else. Your gift of only $5 a month grants you access to shows from Masterpiece to the entire collection of Ken Burns documentaries and a whole lot more. Make a gift and get started today. There's a lot more you can find at sdpb.org/passport. Just look at all those titles right there. Finding Your Roots, great British baking show, Nova. A lot of great stuff, and of course all the sports. Yeah, nature programming on there. I catch that once in a while when I wake up in the middle of the night and can't sleep. Turn the TV on, there it is.
Well, it's better than you wake up in the night thinking basketball, right?
Most of the time.
But you don't want to think basketball.
You try to go back to sleep. Not
Or
that
school.
nature puts me to sleep, but the
Right.
sounds sure are nice. Out of the timeout, next dead again will still be a media. On the run the other direction, Hunsucker will get it to go.
Yeah, I felt like Parkson really needed to get something out of that to try to cut that back to a under double-digit lead.
Yeah, now with every possession, as time goes away, we're going to have a media timeout when they come back. Going to call the foul first, and then we'll get to the media timeout. Justo is going to report it first. Foul call to number 21, Carson Page, her 4th personal, and we take the media timeout. We're back in just 60 seconds on SDPB Sports.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Out of the media timeout, our final stop. We got 5 timeouts remaining between the two teams if they elect to use them with 4:21 to play. Tipped away by Camry Padden. You talked about 0 fouls. We were talking off air. 0 fouls on the board for Parkston. You down 13. They want to be a little more aggressive defensively.
Yeah, you can be a little more aggressive. I think both offensively and defensively. Big basket for Parkston. It's been kind of had a scoring drought of
210?
212.
Yep.
Gained 2 seconds on that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Tipped out of bounds. Braden Padden will come back in for Carson Page. She'll check out with those 4 fouls. Now Parkston will come up, put a little pressure on. They're checking the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Yep, I think it should be 30. So there, they got it.
Good job, coach.
Yep. That was Zebart's bucket there. And then Zebart's foul as Wahman attacks the basket. The 8th grader at no fear.
Yeah. And you can be aggressive, but you don't want to send them to the free throw line.
Right. And she didn't really have much of a chance there. She's running out. She's trying to get out of the way. And
yep. Hands up.
Yeah, that contact was initiated and continued through by Wahman, who did a good job of just attacking the defense. Second free throw on the way. Wahman, 7 of 10, I think it was last night in the 4th quarter from the free throw line. 1 of 2 now here tonight. Actually 2 of 4 total as she went 1 of 2 in the 2nd quarter. Holzbauer will go left side. Maxwell off the bounce. Maxwell got popped. That 4 team fouls. Fouls on Braden Padden, blocking foul.
That'll be her 4th.
So her and Page both kind of post players, more traditional post players with 4 fouls each.
Well, that's where I think Parkston can be a little more aggressive in attack because you do have some players in foul trouble for Hardin County.
Now the run out 3-on-2, push ahead Hunsucker, but she'll bring it back out.
Probably a smart choice.
Yeah, you do a little clock. Oh, zig and a zag, and the ball goes out of bounds over top of everybody. 49-37. Coach Knipling putting some miles on the sideline over here to my left. I see him more. I'm sure Coach Wahman has been up and down that sideline too.
Just a little easier to see Coach Knipling being on this end of the scorer's table because it is a long one.
Zebart misses, rebound. Braden Padden. Padden bounce it out. Camry Padden. Now Kaylee on the way. Kaylin Padden will push it ahead and bring it back out. 2:50 to play here in the game, and another turnover through the hands.
Probably one stat we really haven't looked at. Parkston just 6 offensive rebounds to Hardin County's 24 defensive.
Wow.
So just not giving them any second looks at the basket.
No, not at all. 19 turnovers for Hardin County, so 8 less than last night in their win.
And overall, Hardin County 13 more rebounds.
Knipling picks up the dribble out top. Maxwell gets a screen, and they're going to say she leaned into it. I mean, you got to get fouls. Didn't probably want it off of that, but here you'll see her step in. Just leans in right there with the left shoulder. Tapio picks up her 2nd personal. Nobody in the middle of the floor for Hardin County against that press. They're still able to break it, but
you know, they're breaking it. Not really. They don't have necessarily a layup, so they're doing a pretty good job of pulling it back out and taking some time off the clock.
And I don't even know if they're looking to try to get a layup, quite honestly. They're just trying to get into their half of the court and then work the clock.
Exactly.
And there he did, took it all the way down to 16 on the shot clock. Berkeley Zebart, a little slow to get up. They're going to call Coach out. Coach Knipling doesn't want to come out because then he's got to take her out. Now he has to because he sees how she's bounced or how she's limping. But I've been there. You see one of your better players go down and you've been out there before and they go, Coach, I'm good. Well, sorry, I came out. Now you got to come out.
Right. You know, and she's just played 30 minutes.
2 nights in a row.
Yeah. 31 minutes last night, 30 minutes so far tonight.
Inside off the inbound, Braden Padden Unfouled, and the bucket is good. Basket counts. Justo says the foul is on number 20, Kiara Oakley. Oakley picks up her second. Braden Padden at the free throw line, gets it to go. Braden, 5 points now in the game, had a bucket in the first quarter, and that three-point play here in the fourth. Now you just sit back if you're Harding County, take a step back. You don't have to get crazy and get steals, just make them work the clock. Hey, you're headed to the state championship game here if you can just finish things off in 2 minutes.
And just what you talked about,
I know.
Kind of a silly foul there. You just want to take time off, make them work, just play good, solid defense.
That's what gives Coach Wahman gray hairs. If he had hair, it would be gray. Oakley with the free throw is good. I mean, you've seen it, you've been on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
It happens all the time. You're just, okay, all right, we're in a perfect spot. Sit back, just sit down and guard. Give them a step, it's okay. Let them shoot from 23 feet right now.
Well, they haven't shot real well.
Right. It's the other thing, if they had 12 threes like Ethan did, you're not gonna sit back.
Right.
But also, if you're still up 14, don't give them chances to score with the clock stopped.
Yeah, they've only shot 31% for the day, 22% from the three-point line.
Again, I didn't look to see what their average margin of victory was on the season. I think we had it in there somewhere. But
I do have that.
Yeah, again, I mean, they've won a lot of games big. So again, we talked about this, was it last night or earlier today, where you're just not used to maybe having to run clock like this and slow down and be patient.
Yeah, they average 67 points per game, but only allow 28. They just had some really big margins of victory.
Yeah.
You know, and they play some teams that we don't normally see. Getting up in North Dakota, playing some teams that we aren't familiar with.
Right.
Just because of the location. They're a long ways from everybody.
Padden with a couple more free throws. We'll get in touch with Coach Wahman when this one's over. 90 seconds away from advancing to the state championship game. Went, tips it, takes it away, throws it away on the save. Now Oakley tries to slow down with it. Kicks it back out off the foot. Everybody playing a touch fast right now.
Yeah. I think Kaylin Padden's going, I just had a little tap last, and there's a lot of reaching going on right now.
And Braden Padden will pick up foul number 5. She will come out. Coach Wahman is going to call her over. He gets his 30 seconds or 20 seconds to get the sub in.
Yeah, Parkson bringing in a couple players, Amelia Tapio and I think Graceland Straight, 2 freshmen coming in for Parkson.
Again, looks to me like we're going to have this interview down on the other end. We're going to do it right in front of that student section. That'll be loud again. If Harding County can hold on to this 16-point lead, now 15-point lead.
Gotta get some steps in somehow.
Yeah, good by me. Been sitting a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
I average about 13 or 14,000 a day, so I'm not even close. I will tell you.
My watch keeps buzzing and telling me I need to get up and move.
I think mine told me the last time, you're super lazy today, I think is what it said.
Mine tells me to get up and move and that it's too loud of an environment.
It doesn't really. Mine doesn't give me that much information. Timeout, full timeout on the floor. With 1:21 to play, 54-40 our score. Again, we will run down some of the looks tomorrow for you as far as what the brackets will look like, but I can tell you we'll get things started at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning once again on our Saturday. Again, please check weather before you venture out tomorrow. Again, we'd love to see you here, but we totally get it. If the weather doesn't suffice for you to get in the car and get here, guess what? We're live with all the games on SDPB.org and SDPB2 TV. So sit back, relax, stay warm, and just simply enjoy a day of hoops tomorrow. But we'll get underway at 11 a.m. with Coleman, Egan, and Centerville, Lyman and Bennett County at 12:45, And then our third place matchup, of course, will be Corsica Stickney taking on the loser of this one. And then our championship with Ethan taking on the winner of this matchup. So we get ready for a big day of hoops to wrap up our high school girls basketball season tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Macpia-Luta up 41-28. If they can hold on above Sioux Falls Christian, we'll take on, looks like Lennox beat Hamlin earlier today.
Yeah, big 16-point win.
And then you got a Gorman beating Mitchell. You got a Gorman.
5 fouls. We should be shooting free throws.
A Gorman up on Sioux Falls, Washington, just 34-29. But Brandon Valley won big, 73-44 over Aberdeen.
And you said Macpia-Luta was up 13, it looks like, huh?
Yeah, with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Macpia-Luta trying to run the table, go undefeated. They're trying to avenge a loss from last year in that state championship game where Sioux Falls Christian put it back off of a free throw as time expired to win it.
Yeah, and all 3 classes on television, so.
Yep. You can get 3 screens up if you want. There are ways to do that in this new technology, it sounds like. So
yes.
Feel free to do that tomorrow.
And just maybe move some TVs around the house a little bit.
Patton with another free throw. Makes it a 16-point game. Again, we will have handshakes at the conclusion of this one. And then catch up with the winning coach. Barring some sort of miracle comeback here, Harding County is going to find their way into the state title game. As the Ranchers come in as the number 6 seed. They were the 2 seed last year and just felt they were disappointed with how it went. Come in as the 6th seed this year and you find your way to the championship. Again, the beauty of the Sodak 16.
Right, you know, it's just, you get the best teams in the tournament, and we've said that before that first game that this was anybody's tournament, just looking at the teams that were in it, just solid teams, and having followed them throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, and again, there's people out there that are going to argue, our team was better, they just had to go against so-and-so. They were the best 8 teams at the end of the year when it counted, right? That's who gets here. Yep. And it has gone completely when we used to go geographical. You got to be honest, there were blowouts that teams didn't, not say they didn't deserve to be here, but they weren't the top 8.
Right.
They won out of their region, and that was great. There was an opportunity for everybody to play, and I think that was a great format, but we've advanced the game so much that I think this is the best format right now.
Right. And for all 3 classes, I think.
Yeah. And and you're in the AA realm. There's always that talk: is AA ready to go to just a Final Four?
Right.
There's a lot more talk in the AA about the consolation round. Does it mean as much to them? I think to the kids it still does. Maybe not to the communities.
Right. It's just you got bigger communities.
Yep.
You maybe get there more often. So
right.
maybe you kind of have that where it maybe doesn't feel like it means as much. You know, these small communities, it's hard to get here.
Yeah, so it'll certainly be interesting just to see how all of that progresses and plays out. We have our AD conference coming up at the end of this month out in Deadwood. There'll be, trust me, lots of topics to talk about this year with things that have gone on through the sports year. So it will be a fun time out in Deadwood to sit and visit with all the ADs across the state and just try to hammer things out and hear what the state has to tell us as well.
Well, it just gets interesting. You've got to look at budgets. You know, that's a big part of it. And we've added sports. So you got to make it feasible. And
yeah, the superintendents have one opinion. ADs have another, trying to push, some of it. And
coaches probably have one too.
Right, and eventually you got to come together and figure it out. But 29.5 seconds away, and Parkston fans see it slipping.
And Harding County kind of feeling like they're going to be in the championship.
Boy, they just did what they needed to do. Another great defensive effort. Coach Womans just got to be excited about, obviously, you're excited about being in the state championship, but just about the way his team has come out and done the game plan. I mean, I asked him about that. Like, they've talked about things and they've stuck to it, and it's worked defensively.
Yeah, you just got to believe in what you do and go out and trust each other, trust what the game plan is.
Free throw on the way. Womman gets it to go. An eighth grader finds her way to the free throw line in the fourth quarter all the time.
Now just looking at, Harding County, 2 seniors, Hunsucker and Kaylin Padden. Just a lot of youth again on these teams with Parkston just having the 1 senior.
Coach Wildman, full slate of new players on the floor. Lets his starters and top bench players come to the bench to get a hand from the Harding County Rancher fans. Knipling swinging around for Parkston. Good drive up and almost getting it to go. Number 24, Graceland Strait, who was in for just a little bit earlier in the first half. Graceland gonna have a free throw. And Graceland will get into the scorebook with a offensive point. Second one on the way, and good. Or off the right side, rebound taken out. And Harding County is going to advance to the state championship game. We'll get the comments from Coach Jay Wildman right after some handshakes. I'll go take my place, and I'm switching over to the cordless mic, guys. I'm not sure if you got me on. There you go. Hey, Lisa, I'll tell you what, they did everything they needed to do to get this victory. And as a 6th seed, man, it feels really good.
Yeah, come out and you follow the game plan, you do what you need to do. They really controlled the tempo of the game, controlled the boards was a big thing. They only allowed 7 offensive rebounds for Parkston, not a lot of second chances.
Yeah, the excitement continues. They just played 32 minutes and they're still sprinting down the court here. They put the sticker on the board. Coach Wildman just walking up with a smile. We're going to catch the man here in just a moment. Coach, congratulations. You can go ahead and smile and breathe now, huh? Hey, what a performance by your kids. We talked about you put in a game plan. They came out and executed.
They did. We did a phenomenal job. We were reaching a little in the early settings of the game and got in a little foul trouble. But we're so deep that every girl that comes in, we don't lose a beat. So,
after last night, it's an emotional win. It was just kind of a rugged game. All the turnovers, all the fouls. But your kids bounced back and they were ready to go right away from the start tonight.
They were, that it was a big energy game last night. Our kids settled in. They were calm and collected all day. They were poised, they were ready to roll, and it showed out there on the court tonight.
Talk about this team you got to play tomorrow night. Their head coach staring us down. Coach Young, you get to take on Ethan. Wow, this is going to be a battle.
This is going to be a battle. They're a really good three-point shooting team. You saw that tonight. Can't leave them open. You got to contest that three-point line, and long rebounds, you got to have to rebound really hard.
Well, you get about 25 minutes to enjoy this, then it's time to get ready for Ethan.
Yes, exactly right. We're going to enjoy it for the next half hour, then be ready for tomorrow night.
Congrats, buddy. You bet. Take care. Coach Jay Wildman from Harding County. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
First Bank and Trust Arena, the site of the 2026 Class B Girls State Basketball Tournament. We have our state championship game set, and Lisa, it should be a dandy with these two teams that have really put on a defensive performance here for 2 nights.
Right, you know, and you look at this game, you break down the stats a little bit. Hardin County, 27 defensive rebounds, Parkston only 7 offensive rebounds, so not a lot of second chances. They really controlled the tempo, they controlled defensively, taking away a lot of really easy looks for Parkston, and then just didn't give them the second looks. They had, Hardin County had 21 points off turnovers, 38 points in the paint, and 24 points from their bench.
And Hardin
compared
County
to Parkston, just 1 point from their bench.
48% they shot from the field for the game. I mean, you're going to make half your shots again, and you get more. You'll win a lot of basketball games.
Yeah, they're 15 of 20 from the free throw line. Parkston got to the free throw line. They were 9 of 18, 28%, or excuse me, 18 of 28 for 64%.
You look through, I was looking through those stats, and you start talking about shooting. We talked earlier, I think it was the first game, where we talked about teams putting up 25 threes. We said that's kind of become the norm. Not for these two teams. Between the two of them, they shot 16 threes, 1 of 7 and 2 for 9. So they were not going to settle from 3-point. They were going to the basket, trying to get buckets and get to the free throw line.
Right, and I think that's, you know, the first half Parkston got Hardin County a little bit of foul trouble and was able, because of penetration into the paint.
Yeah.
You had Z-Bart, she finished with 15. You had Oakley finished with 17. And then for Hardin County, a lot of players in the scorebook, but Kaylin Padden finished with 13, 8 of 10 from the free throw line.
That's impressive with the foul trouble she had the first half.
Right, because she didn't get to have much at halftime. And then Carson Page off the bench finished with 10 points, 5 rebounds.
That was a big 10 points, too, for her just to come in and be able to give relief, because Camry Padden played fewer minutes tonight than she had been, and then the foul trouble to Kaylin Padden. So big bench moments tonight.
Right, you know, and just again, their bench scoring 24 points was huge for them, half their points almost.
We'll take one more break and come back and kind of reset today's action, get you ready to go for tomorrow. We'll talk all about it, take a look at the brackets if we can. You're watching Class B Girls State Basketball Tournament action from First Bank and Trust Arena in Brookings on SDPB Sports.